Hey everyone, can I get a thumbs up or just a message in the chat if my audio is working okay? I'm switching my mic this time around, so hopefully it's a little better. Nice, nice, awesome. Cool. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Again, as always, we'll have a backup stream on YouTube, and we're gonna get started 5 minutes past the actual official start time, just to allow people to roll in. Okay, and the YouTube link is in the chat for anybody who prefers to watch on YouTube. But again, you'll miss out a lot of the functionality and the breakout rooms if you do choose to use YouTube. But I know that this platform is still kind of a work in progress, and some people are having troubles with it. We made a lot of changes, so hopefully it's better this week than the previous week, and it continues to improve. How's everybody doing? How's everybody's ideas in the 3 minutes that we have before we start? How confident are we feeling about our ideas on a scale of 1 to 10? 8, 8, 10. Okay, awesome. This is good. I hope it's not false confidence. A million. Michelle loves her idea. Okay, awesome. I've changed mine from the initial good review to hopefully you did some user interviews, and from that you had some insights that had you go in a different direction. I think one of the top liked projects on the AI Squad's portal is Harnoor's project, and she built basically like a typing in the world of AI type of app. But her initial idea was something completely different for dentists, and she changed it like 3 weeks in, and she ended up placing first. It's still pending review, yeah. So assignments are due Friday, which allows us to go ahead and review it over the weekends, and then on by Monday you'll have your assignment graded. Refined my initial idea. Nice, nice. Good to hear. Okay. Gonna continue to wait for people to roll in before we get started today. Hey, it's me. Oops. If you guys ever have any oh, people are saying unable to join lecture. I'm seeing this now. Okay. I'm gonna close the lecture and open it back up. We'll be back in a second. All right. Okay, it seems like people are rolling in now. Cool. For the people rolling in, can you hear me okay? All right, there it is. Okay, now everybody's joining. That's awesome. Sorry, it seems like everybody was locked outside the lecture. Imagine we're in person. Oh, my laptop battery? Is my battery about to die? My battery's okay. Thank you for the person who pointed out, but it's okay. From Nigeria, okay. Loud and clear, nice. People are saying laptop battery. I'm confused by that. It took me ages to be allowed in. Yeah. Imagine we're all live and the doors were locked and I forgot to unlock the doors. That's basically what happened just now. I just forgot to hit the open lecture button because some people were in previously and I got confused. But okay, great. We have everybody in now. We typically don't start officially anyways until 5 minutes past lecture. The first 5 minutes, I just chat with people and then allow everybody to roll in, and then we go ahead and get started. But now that it is 11:35 a.m., at least my time, we will go ahead and get into it. Cool. I was asking people, first of all, how are you guys feeling about your ideas? I only asked the 30 people in here previously. Can you give me on a scale of 1 to 10 how everybody is feeling about their ideas going into week number 2? Because today we're going to get into the actual building. I see 10, 7, 9, 7, 7. Really good. Okay. 3. Okay. 0. Somebody doesn't have a good idea yet. 9, 10. Okay. 11. Okay. Okay. It seems like on average we're at about an 8, which is a good place to be. I want to say if you change your idea at any point, we encourage you to do that. Like if you go into it this week, you're building something, but 2 weeks in, you realize you want to do something completely different. We actually encourage that. Do not feel tied down to the idea that you submitted this week for your assignments. Feel free to change at any point. Okay, now hopping into this week. First, I want to talk about the program schedule. Week 1 was all about the idea. Week 2, we're hopping into building. This is going to be all about building, vibe coding. Week 3, we're going to continue with more building. Week 4, we're going to do some building / launch, and then week 5 is going to be the showcase. I say this to say this program moves really, really quickly. We already started, but it's going to end just like that. So we got it. Like this is the week to put in a lot of effort into just getting a good start on your builds. In terms of the agenda for today, we're going to go over how to code with LLMs. I'm going to teach you a little bit of software basics. We'll go through a Lovable tutorial. We'll have a break, and then you'll have time with your squads to meet the squads you've been assigned. I want to say thank you to all you all for the attendance forms you submitted last week. I personally read through each of the 650 responses that we got in there, and we've made a ton of different changes. These are just some of them, but we're trying to continuously improve the portal, the program, everything. So yeah, just want to say thank you to you guys for that. The attendance form is really valuable for the feedback that you give us. So please keep continuing to give us more of that feedback, and we'll continue to make this program better for you. A couple of the most frequently asked questions that I saw that I want to address. One is who will grade my assignments? If you're in the fast track Lovable path, we will have a TA grade your assignments. Ayush or Jason or myself will be grading your assignments. If you're not in the fast track path, we have an AI setup that grades kind of the same way that we grade, and that you'll receive some AI graded responses from them. And all the grading will be done this weekend, and you'll receive it by Monday. That's how it typically works. By Friday, the due date for the assignments, the weekends we grade, before the next week, you get your assignment back. If you're in the fast track, you'll also receive an email from HelpBank about all the additional perks. And if you're on the AI squad side, we're going to add the extra office hours in on the portal for you as well on the fast track path. But if you have any questions about that, feel free to put it in chat, and hopefully Ayush can help out. Another one that came up today is what if I want to keep my idea confidential and I don't want to share it publicly? What I have to respond to that was like, first of all, I would say I wouldn't put too much value behind an idea. Like, even if you have an amazing idea, it takes years and months and so much work to actually build the idea. People are worried that others are going to steal their ideas, and it's just like, even if you took the best idea ever and you placed it right in front of somebody in their face, they still wouldn't take it, right? So one, I would encourage you to share your ideas. I think it will make you move faster in the process by sharing your idea and getting feedback from it. But if you really, really just don't want to share it, you can still submit your assignments. We keep it confidential, the idea that you submit. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. But if you're not sharing a product with us, we can't qualify you to be eligible for any other prizes. So that's just the trade-off. You have to decide if you want to make or not. And I'm happy to chat further if any more questions come up about that. Another question, where do I find my squad? And we have, all right. And we have assigned squads out. So if you come to your AI squads portal now and you come to the community, you should be able to see your squad up here. If you press squads, you'll see everybody in your squads. You can browse all the different squads. So we've gone ahead and assigned you to a group of people to the best of our ability that we think you would get along with well. I know different people have different preferences and we couldn't accommodate to all of them, but we try to at least include you with a couple of the people that you starred. So go ahead and see the squad you're in. You'll meet them today, but you're open to join different squads. If you don't like the squad that you're in, you can leave it and go and join another squad. So it's completely flexible. We also implemented this globe feature so you can see everybody that's in the cohort and where in the world they're at. So you can scroll through this if you want, find people in your country, and click on them and go join their squads with wherever they may be in. So yeah, that's another cool feature. And then the other thing is we have squads, and we've assigned a squad lead in every squad. So squad number 4, for example, Many is going to be the squad lead. Squad leads are people who express that they would be interested in being a lead in the squad. All a squad lead really means is that you, as a squad lead, help start the conversations if they're not going in your squad rooms, basically. And you're responsible for, you can change the name of your squads based on what you and your team want, and add an emoji if you want, put in a description. So yeah, you have the admin privileges to make changes to here, but please listen to your squad, make it a democracy, see what people like, and make those adjustments. You can also add other people as squad leads, but you can check this out later on the portal. Cool. And then another thing we got asked is, what is office hours? Office hours are completely optional. You guys don't have to join office hours, but each week we do offer some office hours, and that's just for additional help. If you want additional help, you can come in, and one of our TAs will help you with whatever problems you're having. 5 is, where are the lecture recordings? The lecture recordings are on the Help Bank Accelerator. You can find it there. They're posted on YouTube, and the link to them is posted on the Help Bank Accelerator. And then 6 is, yeah, when will my assignments be graded, which I answered earlier. Okay, cool. That's the Q&A. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Gonna keep it moving forward. A couple of feedbacks on the homeworks is, I think 70 or 80% of you marked that you were trying to make money with your assignment, with the idea that you're working on. So for those of you who are, your goal is to make money, these are 2 things that I would keep in mind. One is the fire test, and that basically means, is this like a hair on fire problem that you're solving? A hair on fire problem is a big, like if somebody's hair was on fire, they would pay anything to get some water to pour it on their hair to get it out, right? So those are the types of problems that you typically want to try to solve. Like really, really big problems, not small vitamin problems, not nice to haves, but huge problems. That's how you make money. And then 2 is the 10x test. Is your product 10x better than a previous existing solution? Because if you build like exactly ChatGPT, but you make it just 1% better than ChatGPT, actually, like even if it is 1% better, most people would still end up using ChatGPT just because they're already used to using a product like ChatGPT instead of coming and using your AI, even if it is that little 1% better. So whatever you're trying to do, you want to try to make it substantially better than previous existing solutions out there. So 2 things to keep in mind. And yeah, in terms of finalizing your ideas and what you're going to build today, I want to share another story of my first startup. So this is when I went to do my first startup, and I had the amazing idea that I was going to shave my hair. I didn't want to leave my room. I wanted to just stay in and work on it all the time. So I went, shaved my head, and started working on a startup for the next 5 months. Locked myself in a room. And these are 2 of my co-founders, Berkeley students that I was going to college with, and we spent a ton of time working on this startup. And now this is our first product launch video, and you can see like the product still doesn't even look that great, but more importantly, you can see how long my hair is. This is because it took us 4 months to launch, right? And when we finally launched, we basically got no users. So we spent 4 months of time tirelessly coding just to launch, and nobody wants our product, right? And I don't want you guys to have to go through that same experience, which is why we spent all of lecture 1 on the idea and the user interviews. So yeah, it took us 3 or 4 months to launch, and you can see this. So please don't do that. Like we talked about last week, launch a quick prototype, whether that be like DoorDash, making a quick site where they uploaded restaurants' menus, or Amazon, actually what they did first. This is their first website. It doesn't look great, but they launched, they got user feedback, and they iterated from there. So yeah, do your user interviews, launch quickly. Don't go spend 4 months building something just to launch it and realize nobody even wants it. And yeah. Airbnb did the same thing. Airbnb's first launch, what they did is they didn't go build a huge app or anything. They had a festival in town, and they had a house that they lived in. And they thought, maybe we should just rent out our living room. So they just put up an ad that they're renting their living room out, and people signed up for it. They said, we'll include breakfast, come into our living room, sleep on the beds in the living room, and 3 people signed up, and that was the start of Airbnb, right? So find the easiest way to quickly launch your product and see if people actually like it before spending a ton of time building it out. Same thing with Amazon Fresh. How many of you know Amazon Fresh? So what can I get a thumbs up? Do we know Amazon Fresh? So for those of you who don't know what it is, it's a grocery store where you go in and you have a shopping cart, except you don't have to scan at checkout. You can just grab your items and throw it into your shopping cart, and they will automatically scan it and charge you, so you can basically throw it all in and just walk out, right? So this is like some really complicated AI to set up to be able to do all of that, where it like can test everything that's in your cart and automatically charge you for it, and it's crazy. Well, it turns out they didn't actually do that. What they were doing, they had hired a bunch of people in India who were watching videos of people actually shopping and labeling the videos of what people are checking out. So there actually wasn't an AI yet. They kind of launched it with acting as if there's an AI, but there's really humans behind it. And this is what we call like a Wizard of Oz MVP, where like a user sees one thing, but on the back end it's something completely different. So in this case, it's like you think you're talking to an AI, but it's really a human on that back end chatting about it. And if Amazon is doing something like this, $1 million industry where they can hire a bunch of people to actually build the AI, and they're not, because they realize it's better to first find the proof of validation of the idea working, then you should too, right? As a one-person company, you really should do that, because we don't have as much time and resources as they do. Another great way to do this is the fake landing page. And I kind of did this actually with AI squads when we first launched. Before I had built any of this, before I had built any of the curriculum, I created a course for a 5-week AI camp. I created a landing page for it and I posted it online, right? And I posted it online and I had, it cost $1,000 and I had a link to buy it. And when people went to buy it and click it, I just said, enter your email and we'll contact you when it's out. So I made them go through the sign up form, made them like agree that they will pay the $1,000. I didn't charge them, and then I said we'll email you. And then I got 10 people to sign up in the first month, so that was 10K. So I'm like, okay, there is enough proof now here that people want this program. So then I went ahead and built it over the next couple months, and then I emailed those people that it's ready. We ended up making it free just because our goal is to like make this as big as possible. So we didn't end up charging any of those people, but it gave us that proof of validation too. So try to set up a fake landing page with actual charging, where you should like get the user to agree to an amount they're gonna pay. And if you can get users to actually go through those steps and get to the payment, then you know if you actually build the product, there will be people that buy it, and it can save you a lot of time. So that's another way to do it. Any questions? Okay, let me look at chat. Okay, Razeb said, can we merge 2 squads? There's a 12 limit cap on the squad sizes, but if it's 2 squads of 6, you guys can all end up joining one of the squads instead. Yes. Okay, awesome. So expectedly start small until you can make sure that people do want it, then invest your time. Exactly, exactly. Figure out, if I built this, would people even want it before you build it? Can we go through the fake landing page MVP? It was lagging for me. Yeah, I didn't go through an MVP, but this is the page that was up on there. Cool. Oh, and then, okay, this is a good question. If you joined the cohort late and want to join a squad, yes, go to the squad tab and you will be listed as a free agent, and you can just pick one of the existing squads to join. Nobody in the squads has chatted with each other yet, so don't feel invasive. Just go ahead and join any of the squads that you think you like, any of the people that are in. And if you're late on any assignments, yes, you can go ahead and still submit it. Cool. And for the questions, if you have logistical questions, you will answer it or post it in a help bank. If you have questions about the lecture and the ideas that we're talking about, that's the ones that I'll try to answer during lecture. All right, now I want to go through building your first website. Can anybody tell me what this is? And if you were in a previous cohort of AI squads, do not cheat. What is this? Can people tell me what this is? Somebody said cards, punch cards, catalogs, Rolodex, punch cards. Oh, okay. So yes, we talked about this. So it's the bug catcher. Good. People remember. Yeah, so this is, we talked about the idea of abstraction last week. We talked about how this is the first card, and the idea of abstraction, talked about HTML style CSS. So now I want to hop into coding in the era of LLMs. So with building software in the era of LLMs, oops, okay. Sorry, okay, here we go. The exciting part is, and I think we discussed this previously, where now in the past, coding used to be looked completely different for people who are technical versus people who are non-technical. But this is the first time in history where non-technical people and technical people are speaking the same language. So even an engineer is going to be coding the same way that you're coding through AI. And that's what's super exciting. So I want to hop into prompting and context and teach you a little bit about software so we can get into actually building on Lovable. So in terms of prompting, what prompting is the way that you talk to your AI. And there's a lot of different ways you can talk to it. Google has a prompting guide, and they recommend that you break it up into these 4 sections where it's persona, task, context, and format. So first of all, in persona, it says, hey, like tell it what you want the AI to act as. So you can tell it like, hey, you are an expert marketer, or hey, you are an expert course creator, right? And then tell it the task at hand. Like you're an expert marketer. I want you to build me 3 TikTok hooks for some videos I'm about to create. And then give it the context, which would be everything about yourself. Like, this is my channel, this is my goals, this is the type of videos I want to make. And then you tell it the format of how you want it to respond. So you can say, hey, respond very simply in 3 bullets with a hook in each bullet, right? So this is Google's kind of prompt guide. And here's an example of a prompt that they say is good. Now, this has been from a little while ago, and AI has gotten better. And actually, like, a lot of people are big on prompts and like prompts that you can download online and put your prompt like this and put your prompt like that. And this was true and still is true to some extent, but it's becoming actually less and less relevant. What's the most important when you're chatting with your AI is actually context engineering, not prompt engineering. Now, what is context engineering? Context engineering is prompt engineering included, but everything else that goes into it as well. And the main thing that you want to understand for context engineering is like when you're talking to an AI, and you might have heard this example before, you want to treat it as if it's an intern that you're talking to, or it's a kid that you're talking to, or somebody who just joined your company and knows nothing about your company. Most people, when they're not getting the results they want from AI, it's because they're not giving it the proper context. They assume that the AI knows some things that it doesn't, and they forget to tell it, and the results come out bad, and they're like, why the heck did the results come out bad? It's because it didn't have all the right context. So that's the most important thing, is you want to give the AI all of the context that's relevant to it when it's trying to complete a task. Somebody asked in chat, what are LLMs? LLMs stand for large language models, and this basically means AI. Like the AI chatbots that you chat with, they are LLMs. So that their AI systems trained to understand human language, and the way that they work, it's more complicated than this, but effectively they predict the next word. So they use a bunch of very complex machine learning algorithms, and they come up with different math equations and such, but they basically predict the next word. So like if you type the sky is, it'll have like a math formula of what word it thinks it's best to come next, and blue has the highest value here, so it says blue. Now, it's not as simple as like a auto complete on steroids. It's more complicated than that on how it actually works, but effectively it's just word by word, it's guessing what it should say next. Now, in terms of AIs and LLMs, we have the foundational models, and most of you have heard of these before for sure, where it's like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, right? These are chatbots that you can go online and chat with. So just to make it really concrete, if I come on here and I come to ChatGPT, right? I can chat with it here, hi, and this is a foundational model. This is ChatGPT, this is an LLM. And you can chat to it and the AI will respond to you, right? Now, there's other tools like Lovable, Cursor, Replit, Vercel, and Bolt, and other ones that are AI tools, but they're built on top of the foundational models. So Lovable itself doesn't actually have its own AI. It uses ChatGPT and Claude and Gemini as its brain. So it will use all these tools I listed below aren't building new AIs from scratch. There's tools built on top of the AI. So you can think of these foundational models as the brain, and all these other softwares are borrowing the brain. And you might do a similar thing in your app, right? Like let's say we make an app today where it's an AI app where you put in an idea and it tells you how good your idea is. We're not going to go train a new AI from scratch that figures out what a good idea is. We're going to use ChatGPT or Claude. We're going to use ChatGPT's brain, and we're going to use it in our app to help us generate those responses of how good the ideas are. So we're using these tools built on top of foundational models, specifically Lovable, because they come up with a lot of different perks that make it easier to use out of the box, including like deployment, databases, GitHub integration, and these are things that we're going to talk about what all of those are today. And then the other thing is, what are tokens? So you might hear the word tokens a lot. And what tokens are is basically as humans, we understand language in terms of words. It's split up into words. LLMs, AIs, they don't see it as words. They see it as tokens. So yeah, so like the word strawberry, for example, is one word for us, but for a LLM or for an AI, they might see strawberries as 2 tokens. And roughly you can think about one word is equal to roughly about 1.33 tokens. So that's all you got to understand. And tokens is important because when it comes to this idea of token limits, each AI you chat with has a limit of how much it can remember. And that limit for most chatbots are 1,000,000 tokens. So that means you can talk 1,000,000 tokens worth of context to your AI and it will remember all of that. And if you're wondering how much 1,000,000 tokens is, it's about the entire Harry Potter series that you see here, is how much information you can feed into your AI and it will remember. Now, you don't necessarily, just because it can remember that much, it does not mean you want to feed that much information into it because of something called context rot. So actually, the more text that you put into your AI, the worse it will get at performing certain tasks. So you can kind of see this graph, right? At the bottom is the number of tokens, the number of words that you're putting into your chatbot. And on the y-axis is the performance. And we can see the performance starts to drop the more context that you put in. So this is what context engineering is all about, is you want to give the AI all the relevant context to complete a task, but not unnecessary additional context that it doesn't need, because then it will start to perform worse. And that's kind of what we want to try to do as well as possible when we're prompting our chatbots today. And actually, one interesting thing is they're figuring out that it might be better to create these AIs in Chinese language, because in the Chinese language, one character is like really, each character has a lot of meaning. So like one letter basically in Chinese means a whole word rather than a letter. And because of that, they're able to fit a lot more into this context window. So it's pretty interesting that like we might see a lot of AIs being trained on Chinese rather than English in the future. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is customizing your AI. Many of you, for your apps, you will want to build some sort of custom AI where it's not just ChatGPT, but it's like ChatGPT trained at doing something particularly well, right? And there's 3 ways that you're going to go about this. 95% of us will just use the first one, which is prompt engineering, but I want to mention the other 2 so you're aware of it as well. So prompt engineering is just how do we craft our task, right? To be carried out by the AI. So for example, if I build an app that we talked about where it's going to be an AI that says how good my idea is, I will use ChatGPT, but I will prompt ChatGPT and I will tell it, hey, when this idea comes in, I want you to grade it on these 5 different categories and give it a score out of 10. And that is prompt engineering. I'm customizing how ChatGPT is going to respond by the way that I'm prompting it. But there's another 2 additional ways that you can do it as well. One is RAG. And what RAG is, we talked about how an AI has a 1,000,000 context window. It can only remember 1,000,000 context, right? About 1,000,000 words. But what if we wanted it to remember more than that? What if we wanted to know a bunch of textbooks out there, right? Or what if we wanted to set up a chatbot support that knows all our company context and can go read through all of it and answer? That's when you set up a RAG. And what a RAG is you basically have your AI, but your AI is connected to a data source. And whenever a question comes into your AI, the AI goes to the data source and can look through the entire data source, find what it's looking for, and then bring it into its memory. But it doesn't bring the whole database into its memory because it's too big. So it's like a search. It will go through, find what's relevant, and then bring it into its memory. So that's a RAG. And that's something that you can set up as well. Not something we'll cover in these 5 weeks because it's a little bit more complicated, but something that's out there. And then the final one is fine tuning. And how fine tuning works is it retrains the entire model to perform a certain task better. So for example, let's say you're taking customer service calls and you want this AI to be really good at customer service calls. What you can do is you can take a bunch of example customer service calls from the past that have gone really well, where you have the customer question and you have a great response for it. And you feed it hundreds and hundreds and thousands of these great responses, and the AI will learn from that and rewire it the way its brain works to be able to perform that task better. This one, I don't think anybody in this class should do. It's a little bit more complicated. It requires a lot of effort as well to do. So nobody in here will be doing fine tuning, but I just want you to be aware. These are the 3 different methods of kind of customizing the output of your AI. Okay, I'll pause here for a couple of questions. Let's see. If you use a RAG, can you amend the info it retrieves before outputting it to the user? Yes, you can. So you can go grab the information from the database, prompt it, modify it in some way, and then respond to the customer with it. What is a token again? Yeah, no worries. so what a token you can think of it as basically words. So let me let's see. So we can visualize this here actually. Let's say I love AI squads and help bank accelerator. So I type this into here, right? And you can see here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words, right? But this is how it looks like in tokens. So this is how the AI understands the words here. So like AI squads, for example, is 3 tokens. Help bank is another 3 tokens, right? So it just splits up words differently than we do, or it splits up letters differently than we do, and that's all it is. It's just like how AI chunks up what it's receiving, and we'll talk about it because there's token limits, there's token prices. So when you're using like ChatGPT, sometimes it will tell you we will charge you $5 per million tokens, and I want you guys to be familiar with the term tokens when they throw something like that at you. Cool. And then let me. Oh, somebody made me aware that the display capture is not working on the YouTube stream. Thank you for letting me know. Let me correct that. Okay, cool. Okay, that's been corrected. Thank you for the person who notified me for that. And somebody said, where do you get that screen that shows the token usage? I'll provide a link in the notes afterward that you can take a look at. Should I be signed up to ChatGPT or Claude? No, you don't need to be. And then let's see. Can you use not in the prompts, or does this get overlooked? I'm not sure what that exactly means. Does using Lovable or other AI tools to develop our ideas affect ownership? No, you keep full ownership of whatever you're building with these AI tools. Good question. Cool. Now I want to go through software basics, and this is going to be like your quickest degree in software ever, because you don't need a software engineering degree to build apps, but it is helpful to have some understanding. So we're going to go through. Number one thing is software isn't hard. Most people are just scared of software. They see code and it's just scary to them, so they stay away from it. But it's really not that bad, and I'm going to show you that right now. A quick lesson we're going to go through. So for the purpose of the examples I'm going to give, so I previously went out on the street and asked a bunch of different people, kind of like Simon does, of like, what's your dream? Instead, I made it like, what's your dream app idea? And I asked like 50 different people, and then got somebody's idea and built it for them in a week or two, and then went and gave it back to them. So this guy's app idea was that he wanted to build an app where it's a wardrobe, but an online wardrobe, where you can take pictures of all your clothes and upload it into this app. And then whenever you're going out, you can tell the AI, hey, I'm going out for this occasion. And you tell them I'm going out for this occasion, and you tell it to give a recommendation for what to wear. So we built this app, and this is the app that I'm going to use to explain some concepts. So there's 4 main concepts you need to understand today. There's front end, back end, databases, and APIs. So front end is everything that you see on your screen. Even like AI squads, everything you're seeing on your screen right now, that is your front end. Back end is how all the data gets manipulated, the things that the users don't see. Database is where we store data for persistence, and APIs are how we send and consume data. So what does that look like? So front end would be like the wardrobe display on the app we just talked about. The back end would be how we go about generating the outfit recommendation, right? The user doesn't see how we go about generating that recommendation. They just see the end result on the front end. So that is the back end, the stuff that they don't see. And then the database is where we store their clothes. So we store the pictures of their clothes so that if they shut down their computer and they come back to it, we still have it stored. And that's the database. Anything that you want to store in the way that if somebody shut down their computer and opened it again, it would still be there, that would be stored in the database. And then API, for this app, it would be using ChatGPT. So we use ChatGPT to take a look at the images, analyze what it's looking at, and give the outfit recommendations. We didn't build our own AI again, right? We just use ChatGPT's brain, and that's what most of us will be doing. We're going to be borrowing brains from different AIs built out there. And the API is this one important concept to understand, because most of you will use some sort of API in your app. And what an API, I think the best example I can give it to make it simple is it's like a waiter, right? When you go to a restaurant and you want to order food, you ask your waiter for whatever you want. Then the waiter, or the API in this case, will go to the kitchen or the application, and it will grab the food or the response or whatever it is and then bring it back to you, right? And so this is how it works. So as a user, if I want to use a ChatGPT API, I tell ChatGPT, hey ChatGPT, this is my prompt, as in like, and my prompt can be like, hi, how are you doing today? This is a model I want you to use. So I tell it I want you to use like the latest ChatGPT model. And then I send that information to it. And then it, as the waiter, will go to the ChatGPT application, generate that response, and bring it back to me, right? So that is kind of how it works. And then there's this other thing called the API key. So ChatGPT charges you every time you do this. It's not free. We can't all use ChatGPT for free forever. There's an API key, and all the API key means it's basically like your password, so that they can keep track of how many times you use them and how much to charge you. But that is the concept of an API. It's just a way to transfer data between different applications. Any questions about that here? Loving the session? Nice. I'm glad. Codex Claude, what about it? This is super interesting. Okay, good. I'm glad. All clear. How do you set up an API key? Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But you're basically, what I would recommend for questions like this, you just ask the AI. I said, hey, I want to set up a ChatGPT API key. How do I do it? And it will guide you through the steps of where you need to go and how to do it. Too fast, Andrea. I will slow down a little bit. How do you know which AI is best to use and different AI stronger to address certain subtopics of challenges? All of the AIs are getting really good. So I think right now the best AI is Claude. ChatGPT is a close second. There's a lot of Chinese models that are great. But for the purpose of what we're building, actually, like, all of these AIs will probably be good enough to do it. But Claude is the go-to right now, in terms of the smartest AI. And that changes. That can change every month depending on who has the latest release. I use DeepSeek. There you go. Yeah. Okay, well, we're gonna keep moving forward. So creating your API key, let's go through that together. So let me open this on a new window. So this is a site you can come into when you want to create your API keys. I'll put it in the chat. Definitely don't need to do it right now. But you just go onto ChatGPT's website, you put in your credit card information, and you just basically come up here and hit create a new secret key. I'm not going to do it here because it might expose my key and then you guys can use it and I end up bankrupt. One main thing you want to do is when you're setting up your API keys, set up your usages and set a limit. So set a limit of like, I only want you max to spend $20. Because if you set no limit and then you accidentally share your key or you spill it somewhere, then somebody can use that key and basically drain your bank account, right? And keep using your AI. So if you set up an API key, make sure you set a limit on your API key and then treat that API key like a password. Do not share it with anyone, okay? Awesome, yeah. Let's see. Cool. And then the other idea I want to talk about is deployment, right? Where if I'm building an app, right? Let's say I built an app on my computer. Then I try to have you access my app. While my computer is on, you can access my app because the computer's on. But let's say my computer battery dies. Then you were connecting to my laptop and my laptop no longer has power. So you can't use my app anymore. So that sucks, right? So we don't want to have our apps running just on our computer. We want to deploy them. And what deployment means is taking your code that you write for your software and putting it on a host or a server somewhere. And a host or a server, you can basically think of it as a computer somewhere out in the world that's always on and never turns off. So you take your code and you send it to the server. And now, even if you turn your computer off, your users down here are connecting to this computer that never turns off that has your code. So it doesn't matter if you turn off your laptop or not. So this is what deployment is, and Lovable allows you to deploy your apps with one click. So once you built your app, you can hit deploy in one click, and now it's hosted and everybody can view your app and it doesn't shut down. So that's kind of why we start with Lovable as well. It makes it super easy to deploy your app. There's other ways you can do it with different tools as well. This just makes it easier when you're beginning. Congratulations, you all have a super minor degree in software engineering now, and that is the majority of what you're going to need to know for prompting with Lovable today. Cool. I'm gonna answer some more questions. What is the API keys for? API keys are basically your passwords for using AI. Think of it as your passwords. And we'll talk about it again. And so this is what office hours is also for. If you are like confused on any of the topics, I recommend a couple things. One, rewatch lecture. Two, ask AI. If you don't know, if I explain something and it's confusing, go ask the AI to explain it to you like you're in middle school. That's what I do all the time. If I don't understand something, I say, hey, I don't get it. Can you explain this to me like I'm in middle school? And some of you are in middle school or even younger. So use the AI for that. And then we have the office hours as well. If you want to come in and have one of us explain it to you a little bit further, you can come for that. Does Lovable cost to deploy? No. If you buy the basic Lovable plan, the $20 plan, then you can deploy for free using that plan. Okay, cool. Moving forward. So let's build with Lovable. So some things you want to think about before you going into your app is like think about, do I need a backend? Do I need user authentication? And user authentication basically means like, do I want users to have to log into my app and log out or no? Or is it an app where there's no login? Will I have free, is my app free for everybody or is it paid? Or is it a freemium model where some users are free, some users are paid? And then what APIs am I gonna need? Like you can think about, is my app gonna need to use some AI on the back end? Do I want to use ChatGPT as my brain? Do I want to use Claude as my brain? Some questions that you want to start to think about. You don't need to know the answers to all of them, and you can also chat with AI to give you direction on where to go, but things you want to start thinking about based on the concepts that we talked about today. And one warning I want to give is difficult projects. So first of all, I want to say like this is not a list to deter you from doing any project that you're passionate about going after. These are just some products that you definitely could do, but they're more difficult. So if you're more of a beginner, maybe I would recommend straying away from them for your first project. So one thing is scraping mass amounts of data. If you want to collect a bunch of data from all over the world and like download it onto a Google Sheet, that can be a little bit difficult at times because that can be difficult. And then some people oftentimes want to make apps that block other apps like phone screen blockers and like things to make you stop using your phone or stop using certain like Netflix and things like that. That's also a little bit more difficult to use. Mobile apps are a little bit more difficult. You can build mobile apps, it's becoming easier, but there's a bit more processes to actually get it onto the app store. So I recommend starting with a web app instead of a mobile app. And with a web app, you can still make a website. So like AI Squads right now, you can go to aisquads.org on your phone, even though we don't have a mobile app, right? So you can build an app that's a web application, it's a website, but people can open it on their phone. But if you want to build an app store app, it's a little bit tougher. And then anything that's like involving live video analysis can be a little bit more difficult and a little bit more expensive. So if you're unsure if your idea is maybe too hard, you can come into office hours. Hopefully we'll give you some feedback as well in your badges that you submitted this week regarding that. Okay, so let's start building. Now it's time. So we're gonna pull up Lovable, and let me pull up the app here. Okay, so we're gonna pull up Lovable. When you come onto Lovable, it's super easy to actually to build on Lovable because they have a text box right here, and you can basically just come here and type in whatever you need to build the app, right? But before we hop into it, you want to go ahead and plan your product. First, you want to like find inspiration of what your app even is gonna look like. So I like to go look at competitors if there's similar apps out there to what I'm building, taking a look at what they're doing, kind of drawing inspiration from them, and then I'll even brainstorm with Claude or ChatGPT, right? So I'll pull up ChatGPT here. I'll tell it my idea and I'll tell it like, hey, I plan to do this and that, and this is what I plan to build. What do you think about it? Do you have any feedback? Or I'm stuck on how I should make this look. What do you think? So I'll chat about it for a while, have a better idea of my app. And then the other thing is you really want to limit your number of features, right? So again, we talked about this last time. You might have this grand vision for what this app is going to look like, but when you're building it, start off from one specific like page feature that you're building of what it's going to do. And you can add the other features later, right? So really, really limit the number of features. And then these are some sites I've listed below that I like to use for drawing inspiration of on what I want to build. So if I go to here and I go to godly.website, this is one of them. So this is just a collection of a bunch of different apps out there that look really great. It's like a user curated collection, so you can come and take a look at them. And whatever you like, particularly if you like a certain site, let's see, I'm scrolling through. Let's say I really like how this one looks. You can screenshot it, right? You can screenshot the app, and then you can put that screenshot into Lovable and tell it, hey, make my app look similar to this with a football pitch in the background, or whatever it might be. But it's good to look at for inspiration. Another one is Mobbin. Mobbin is another one where you can go through for a bunch of different apps and kind of draw inspiration as well. And then there's one that I particularly like called 21st.dev. 21st.dev is really cool because it doesn't make you screenshot it. So for example, let's say this robot. Let's say I want to build this robot. And this robot is really cool because it follows my mouse wherever I go and it looks at it. If I wanted to tell the AI to build something like this, it would be pretty difficult to prompt it and tell it to build this. Like I wouldn't know how to explain it, right? But with 21st.dev, they have all these components that they've built, and all you need to do is come up here and hit copy prompts. And now it's copied to your clipboard. You can go paste the text into Lovable, and it will build you exactly this. And they have a bunch of different cool animations. So like they have this, and you can look through at all the different ones, but they have like this liquid glass, whatever it may be. So look through, see what you like, whatever components you want, grab it and save them so you can put it into your prompt. Right? And then hopping into Lovable. So then we're going to go ahead and like curate our prompt and build it. One thing you can also do is called plan mode. So instead of going directly into build mode, some people like to use plan mode. I actually don't like to use this, but I want to share it because it's a feature that's available. What plan mode does is before actually building the app, the AI will discuss it with you and ask you questions and build out an outline of what it's going to build. And then you can kind of approve that. And once you approve it, it'll go ahead and build it. So you can switch your AI to plan mode if you want, and the AI will help you with this. I personally like to do my planning solo without the plan mode. So that's why I'll go plan it myself on ChatGPT or on Claude. And then once my prompt is ready, I'll switch to build mode and paste it in here. But I'll show that. But yeah, just know that plan mode is an option that you can use. Now, for build, what I like to do is spend a bunch of time building my first prompt that I'm going to put in. That's going to be your most important one. And one important thing to note is this lost in the middle effect in LLMs. So when you're writing your prompt, let's say you write this huge sheet, whatever is at the start of your prompt and whatever is at the very end of your prompt is going to matter a little bit more than everything in the middle of it. So just keep that in mind. The first few words and the last few words are typically a little bit more important than all of the other phrases that you put into your prompt. And how I like to break down my apps is page by page. So this is a template, and I have a reference link, and I'll share this in the chat as well. So I'll put this in the chat. So this is an example of when I was building that clothing app that I talked about, of how I prompted it. I like to split it up by pages. So all of this yellow part is my first page, and all of this green part is my second page. And you can see, like, I said first page, and I said I want it to be the upload outfit page. And I said for this page, the user should be able to upload a picture, and we extract the articles of clothing that are present in the picture. From this, we create clothing items that we will save under the user's profile. So I basically told it, hey, like, take the pictures and put it in the user profile, like save it for each user. And then I gave it like a specific example. So I said, so for example, if a picture is uploaded and I like gave it a random name, and I said, and it shows jeans and a white shirt, I said the example output would be, and I showed it a jean and a white shirt, right? So I said the name should be jean, you store the image, the description, the type of clothing, and the jean. So the reason I gave this example is because if I didn't, and I just told it to build this app, what it would probably have done is it would have picked one, for each image, it would have picked one clothing article and would have saved that. So even though I was wearing a white shirt and blue jeans, it would have just sort of saved the white shirt. But because I gave it this example, now the AI kind of knows, okay, it wants every single article that's in the picture to be shown, right? So that's the details that you can provide it. And when you do this, you save yourself a lot of headache of fixing things later on. And then I described the second page, and then I took all of this was kind of my thoughts that I was putting out, and I pasted all of this into ChatGPT, and then I had ChatGPT kind of come up with a plan and build it out more. And then I kind of reviewed this plan, cut out the parts that were not relevant, and then I grabbed all of this, and I copy pasted it, and I went into Lovable, and I put it in, right? So that is kind of the process that I went through for building this app. And this is one way. There's a lot of ways to do this. If you're in the industry and you're a little bit older, you might know about PRDs. If you don't know about PRDs, don't worry. But some people write PRDs, which is like product requirement documents. And some people just like to write PRDs and take their PRD and paste it into AI and have it generated from there. I'm not the biggest fan of this. I prefer the method I shared with you previously. But I want to say, like, this is a little bit more of an art than it is a science for how you prompt your AI. So go ahead and experiment a couple of different ways. See what works well for you and continue working in that way. As of late, in the past couple months, the best way and the way that so all of AI squads that I've built recently and how basically my 12-hour workday looks like is actually voice. So what I will do is now I will not even type anything. I will just open up a Google Doc and I will come onto it. So let's go ahead and open this. I'll come onto it and I'll just start talking. And I'll say, hey, I want to build an app that helps me generate good ideas. And what I want it to look like is a chatbot where I can type in an idea and it's going to score it on a grade of 1 to 10. Right? So I can kind of talk about that and it will paste whatever I just talked about into my doc and I'll just talk with it. And you want to kind of treat it like your friend. Like some people I've realized when they start talking super robotic. Don't treat it like that. Literally treat it as if you wanted to explain your app to your best friend without having anything to show them. How would you verbally explain it to them? And that is kind of the best way to do it. So typically I'll just talk like this, but I'll still split it in my talking. I'll still tell it like, hey, this is my app. This is what I want my first page to look like. So I'll still do this kind of breakdown where page by page I tell it, okay, this is my app. This is what I want the first page to look like. This is what I want the second page to look like. And I'll just talk to it and give it as much context as possible and feed that into the AI. And yeah, in terms of tools to use, so there's a lot of different tools that you can use for building, doing this speech to text. We've actually just launched a tool ourselves too. So Whisperflow is probably the most popular one. If you guys want to check it out, it has like a free plan, but it runs out of words pretty quickly. And then it's $15 a month. But the one that I use that I just showed right now also is OneKit. So this is a product that we recently launched. And we are giving it for 1 month free to the first 50 AI squad members that want to sign up. So if you want to check it out, check it out. It's a tool I've been working on for the past little while. It's called OneKit. So I'll tell you guys a little bit. So this is the product that I'm working on. While you're all building a product, I've also been building this product, right? And it's called OneKit. And basically the problem that I'm trying to solve is when I've gone through these few cohorts of AI squads and helping people launch. And what I realize is there's just so many subscription costs of different platforms than you need when you're first launching a product. So what this tool does is it takes all of those products and builds them all into one platform for a cheaper price. So right now it has the Whisper tool where it will allow you to do the talking like I just showed you on any app. And it also has another app, Granola, which basically takes meeting notes for all the meetings that you're in. And then we have a lot of other tools coming out like repurpose.io, which I use to distribute content everywhere, and Loom and DocuSign and all these other things. But anyways, if you're interested in this, use the code AI Squads 50, and we're giving the first 50 people who want to sign up 1 month free, and then you're going to be on the Founder Edition after that. So instead of $35 a month, which we're charging for this, you'll be priced in at $12 a month for the rest of the year if you want to use it. But the first month is completely free. You can just use it for this cohort and then cancel it afterwards if you want, just so you get used to the voice. But yeah, if you wanna check it out, it's called onekit.co. It's pretty early stage, I will warn you. We're looking for your feedback. Somebody said I can't use my UK email. Thank you for letting us know. I'll fix that after this lecture. But yeah, feel free to provide us feedback on that. And then additionally, to people who do join this and sign up for it, I hold some office hours alongside my co-founder where we meet up each week to chat with people. So yeah, AI Squads 50 is the code if you want that. And the TAs can help with the links in the chat for that. Okay, cool. Moving on. This was kind of like a plug, I guess, for my product, but this is what I would talk about anyway. So if you don't want to use my product at all, don't use this product. I don't care. Use Whisperflow. Whisperflow is the other one that I was previously using before I built this product. But I do highly recommend that you get some sort of app where you can talk instead of typing into your computer, whether that be OneKit, whether that be Whisperflow, whether that be whatever else you find online. Actually, Lovable itself has an option for audio where you can talk to it. But it's just like only for Lovable, right? Then you can't do it on Google Docs and other apps. So I do recommend some sort of app for that. And yeah, we talk at like 200 words per minute, whereas we type at around like 70 words per minute. So it's like 3 times faster to talk. And on top of that, I realized like when you talk, you end up giving more context. Because you can talk faster, you end up feeding more information to the AI that's useful to it. So yeah, I genuinely never touch my keyboard in the past like 4 months. Not that I don't touch it, I touch it. But when I'm prompting the AI, almost always it's talking. And I recommend you all to do the same. And then the other thing I want to recommend is like really put a lot of time into this first prompt that you're putting in. This is the most important prompt that you're going to put into your app is that first prompt. And what I see is most people going through this cohort end up building their app twice. They build it out once, it looks good at first, they keep building on it, building, and at some point they get stuck and they can't implement some feature because it keeps having bugs or breaking. And the reason is because they didn't plan out their first prompt well enough and it ended up causing bugs later down the line. So they end up having to restart their entire project, canceling it, making a new project, putting a good prompt this time, and then when they do that, they're able to make it all the way through. And honestly, like I think like at least 30% of people end up building it twice. So really plan out that first prompt. It's going to be important. And I want to explain to you the reasoning of why it's important. It's like this thing we call AI slop or spaghetti code. So let's say I wanted to build like a journal app, and I've showed two versions of how you would build it. Version 1 is the wrong way, version 2 is the right way. So version 1 is like I put in one prompt, I say create an AI journal, create an AI journal with AI insights, right? Something super short, non-descriptive, and then it creates it. But let's say it creates it and it has a mood bar. Then I tell it like, no, I didn't want the mood bar, remove that. And maybe it like removes the mood bar on the front end, so I don't see a mood bar anymore. But maybe there's some backend code that it didn't remove that's related to the mood bar, right? And then let's say I say, hey, no, change all my colors of the buttons to purple. So then it changes all of the colors of the buttons to purple, but maybe like it forgets one of the items, and one of them it keeps blue, right? So then there's all this stuff that's happening on the back end that later on there's like this junk code like mood bar tracking database or these random stuff. And when you're trying to implement features later on, the AI might get confused with those. So like that is kind of why it's better to get it right the first time. And this version 2 is a better way where I say, hey, create a purple theme page that works as a journal where I can type in entries, add a button that says generate AI insights. When it's clicked, the button sends the journal text to ChatGPT for analysis and displays the response to the page. So that's kind of how I would explain it, right? That being said, there is a caveat to this. If you don't know what you're building yet and you need creativity, then putting in prompts that are less specific is good. So actually what I tend to do when I'm first building my apps, I will go and build like 3 different versions. I will start 3 different projects. Let's say I want to build a mood tracking site. I will say like, hey, build me a mood tracking site, be creative. And I'll take this and I'll paste this into 3 different chats. And they will each generate 3 different websites that will look different. And then I'll get ideas from each one of these 3 apps that I created. And I'll be like, okay, I like this from here. I like this from here. I like this from here. And I'll write all of that down. I'll screenshot the pieces I like. And I'll craft my master prompt in this Google Doc. And that master prompt Google Doc is what I'm going to take and paste into a new Lovable project that's going to be my main project, right? So feel free to use AI as a creativity partner as well. They're really good at being creative. So once you do that, and before this class, I went ahead and created an app. I said, let's make an Idea Spark app. Let's see if it worked. So I went ahead. So I did it twice. So I made 2 apps. One, I gave it a descriptive response, and one of them, I gave it a non-descriptive response. And we're going to take a look at both of them together. So give me a second to pull up both. And I'll show you the prompts that I put for each one of these. And I did this before class just so we don't have to wait time for the apps to generate. But so the first one, I said, hey, create me an app that tells me whether my idea is a good or bad idea. And this is what it generated. This is the website, right? So you can see, is this a good idea? And there's something here to type in your idea, and then you can hit enter here. So I can say my idea is like an AI learning platform to teach people to launch products. And I can pass judgment, and we'll see if it works. Sometimes it works first try, sometimes it doesn't. It didn't work, right? And we'll talk about how to fix errors. But this is the one prompt. This is what generated. It looks okay, pretty good, right? Second one, I came here and I was descriptive. I told it, hey, create me an app. I want it to be 1 page. I want it to have a robot on the right-hand side, and we can call him Idea Bot. And then on the left-hand side, it's an area where you can type in your idea, and I want the whole website to be black with dim glows, right? So you can see I have this robot as well because I took the text from 21st.dev that I showed earlier. this website. Let me pull it up again. Where is it? I have so many tabs open. 21st.dev, right? I came to this website, I came to this robot, I copied the prompt here, and I pasted that into here as well, right? And you can see, which one do you guys like more? 1 or 2? I mean, some of it depends on flavor, but I would guess most of you prefer this second one. I think it looks a little bit better, and I can also test if it works. So I'll say an AI learning platform, and I'll press rate it. Let's see if this one works. And this one seems to have actually worked. It gave a number, it gave some strengths, feedback, and all of that. So you can see, like, putting in some time into your first prompt can make a huge difference. And I see everybody spamming 2. Jenny said 1. Jenny liked number 1. Everybody else liked number 2. But yeah, it is personal preference at the end of the day. But I think this is a little bit better of a product. So that's how you go through it. But another thing is, like, you run into errors, right? So right here, I ran into an error where it says no object generated, response did not match. So how do you fix these errors? Fixing these errors is normally just a matter of talking to the AI and you got to explain the error to it and tell it what was your expected response. So here I will take this and I'll say, and I'll talk to it. I don't want to type, and I'll say, I typed in an idea and pressed pass judgment, but I got this error, right? And then I'll paste in my error and I'll say, what I expected was for it to give me a number score on what the idea, on how good it is. And then to also give me some bullet points on feedback around it. Can you do that for me? So I'll put all that in, and then I'll hit enter, and hopefully it'll fix it. And maybe it'll fix it the first try, and if it doesn't, I'll try that again. I'll tell it, hey, this is what it did this time. This was the error. Can you try to fix it again? And I'll continuously try to do that. But sometimes you try to do that like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and it doesn't work. So what do you do when you get stuck trying to fix errors? And by the way, this is going to be this is what vibe coding for you over the next 2 weeks will look like. It's putting in a prompt, seeing what the result is, telling it why the result is not the way you want it. It'll fix it, and then doing it again, and doing that process until you refine one page. And then once you refine that page, moving on to the next page, writing the big prompt for it, and going through the refining process again. And this is kind of what it looks like. So for fixing errors, this is what I recommend. First is like ask Claude or Lovable or ChatGPT or whatever AI you're doing to fix the error, right? Like we did. 2 is one prompt I really like is tell the AI to zoom out and forget everything and try to solve the problem again. What happens sometimes is that the AI can get very tunnel vision. So there might be an issue in your code and the AI thinks it's over here and it keeps trying to fix it. It makes a change here, it makes a change here, it makes a change here, nothing fixes it. When really the problem was all the way over here, but the AI isn't even like checking this place out. So you got to tell the AI, hey, zoom out everything, view everything, analyze the problems from scratch and try it again. And this prompt has saved me hours a lot of times. And like, I'm not a big person on prompts in particular. It's more about how you chat to your AI. So there's not a particular way that you have to tell your AI to zoom out and forget everything. Just tell it in your regular language on however it is to zoom out, forget everything, and like try it again, right? If that doesn't work, you can try different AI models. So like, let's say Lovable isn't solving your problem. We'll teach you in the future how to use different AI tools to see if a different AI tool can maybe solve your problem. And if none of that works, sometimes just restarting your project on Lovable is a good idea, because as you're building your product, you kind of get a better idea of what the AI is struggling with. And the second time you build that prompt, you make it better and you kind of account for those things and you build it from there. And then sometimes it's even a great idea to modify what you want. So sometimes we're trying to build this really specific hard thing and it takes us 100 hours to do it, right? But maybe if we build something that's 95% of that original idea, just a little bit worse, it only takes us 2 hours. In those cases, maybe we want to pull our idea back and refine it in a way where the AI can understand. And then 5, if none of that works, that's when you need to like hire a software engineer and bring in a technical member. But I don't anticipate that to be the issue for most of you. Cool. And then the other thing that I want to know is on Lovable, setting up Supabase. So when you come here to put in your first prompt, press this plus button and there's a database icon. I would recommend, and I think you have to be on the paid plan for this, but click on the database and click a Supabase project. I already have a Supabase project here. For you, it would say like add a Supabase organization, but make sure to add Supabase instead of using Lovable Cloud. What Lovable Cloud is a database that Lovable uses to store information. But if you use Lovable Cloud, that means you can never move your project off of Lovable. It's kind of stuck on Lovable. If you use Supabase, it makes your project super flexible. You can grab your project and move it anywhere and use any AI tool in the future and pass it on to multiple people to work on it. So make sure you use the Supabase one. And that's another reason I really recommend buying the pro version of Lovable, because then you can connect it with Supabase. So make sure you do that for this part here before you start your project. Do not forget that, because if you do and then you get super far into your project and then you realize you're not on Supabase, then you're kind of, yeah, it's gonna be rough. So yeah, that's another thing. Set up to use Supabase. Now, what is Supabase? We talked about front end, back end database and API. So Lovable writes code for your front end and back end. Supabase is basically like a store that stores your back end functions and your database. Is what you can think of it. So it's your backend and database stored in one. It's called a backend as a service. And what's really nice about Lovable is they have an integration set up with Supabase, so you don't actually end up having to use Supabase much. Lovable will, whatever Lovable needs to do with Supabase, it will handle for you, and it will set up your backend on Supabase. It will set up your database, so you don't really need to touch Supabase much. We'll talk about it a little bit, but Lovable handles most of it for you. Somebody said Supabase. Do we have to pay extra for that? No. So Supabase, if your project scales, you'll have to pay a little bit more, but otherwise, it on the free plan, it should be enough for you. And to give you a kind of an estimate, with 10,000 people on AI squads, I'm now paying, depending on the month, between like $20 to $100 for Supabase. So it's not some crazy cost, even if your app scales. Okay, cool. And then when Lovable is making edits to Supabase, it will show you. It will look something like this. It'll pop up with colored text, and that's when you'll know it's making edits to Supabase. So if you see colored text, just know like Lovable is kind of working with Supabase and making changes. Okay, now bringing it all together, what I would kind of try to understand this as is like, I would kind of think of Lovable as like Google Docs, and I would kind of think of Supabase as like an Excel sheet. That's like all Supabase is. Think of it like storing data in an Excel sheet, how you have rows and columns. That's kind of what Supabase is too. If you really want to simplify it down, you can think of it like that. It's just tables that store data about your users, right? And then I would think of APIs as Google Sheet add-ons. So on Google Sheets, you can add some add-ons to do some fancy stuff on top of your data. And that kind of, you can think about it as API. This is not a great one-to-one example, but if you're confused and you want kind of a general framework, you can kind of think of it like this. And for Supabase, this is all the different options, things that Supabase provides. It provides a database for you. It provides authentication for you as well, which is super nice. So if you want to set user logins and passwords and stuff, it will handle all of that for you. You don't need to know how to do it. It will set up username, password, login, emails. It has edge function, so it does your backend for you. It has storage, so if you want users to upload videos or images and store that, it does that. It has real-time mode, so if you're trying to build something like Google Slides where two people can work on it at the same time and see each other's edits, Supabase allows for that. You can build apps that two users are working on the same time, real time. And then there's like vector databases for it as well, where you don't have to worry about it, but like in the future, if you want to train your own AI models, this can be helpful for that as well. But yeah, it's a really great platform, and all the integration is set up for it. Makes it super easy for us to build apps using Supabase. And it's free, right? For your beginner projects, it's going to be free. And then the other thing is using your APIs. So remember we talked about the ChatGPT API, right? So we get an API key, right? So when you come to Lovable, one thing you never want to do is type passwords into this chat. So you do not grab your API key and paste it into this Lovable chat, because it might leak and then people might be able to access your passwords. What you want to do instead, if you ever want to put in some like AI and you need an API key, first generate your API key, then tell your AI like, hey, I want you to use a ChatGPT API key, and we can try that here. I want to use a ChatGPT API key to generate my ideas. I want to put in my API key for you. Where should I put it? Can you give me somewhere to enter it? So you can kind of tell the AI that you want to enter your API key and hit enter. And typically it will tell you where to go to type in that API key. Right? So we'll let that load for a little bit in the background. And then the final thing is you hit deploy and test. So once you've got your app ready, you come up here, you hit the publish button, and you can hit continue. And you can, and the nice thing here is, So Lovable gives you a URL. This is the URL that this app will be on. Once I hit continue and publish, everybody will be able to go onto this URL and access this app and use it, right? If you want to customize your URL, you also can. You can add custom domain here. It costs about $20 to add a custom domain. If you're serious about your app, I do recommend buying a custom domain eventually. To start off with, you can just use this one until you're ready to like share it with a ton of people. So yeah, you hit continue here and hit continue a couple times, continue, and you can hit publish. And you can run a security scan too, which is pretty nice when you're actually doing it for the demo purposes. I won't go through the security scan, but I'll hit publish. So now we'll get a URL where we can visit and see our actual site. Now, a couple other things about the Lovable platform while you're on it. That right now this is preview mode, so you can see all of your project here. If you press these three dots, you can also go and look at the actual code. There's not an expectation for you to have to look at any of the code, but if you want to, it's there. And if you have any files that you upload, it would be stored here as well. And then the other thing is, if you come to more and you come to cloud, this is where your database is. So right now it says cloud because this is using the Lovable cloud instead of the Supabase. But if you could selected Supabase, it will show you Supabase here, right? And yeah, all the different settings are here that you can go through. You don't really need to worry about much of it for now. And yeah, okay. So sometimes also it'll ask you a question. So it asks me, do you want a settings page inside your app where end user pastes their own API key, or do you want to give your own API key? And I want to give it my own API key. So I'll say, I want to give you my own API key. And I'll hit review and submit. There's a lot of info at super speed. Yeah, and Anita, definitely. And we've thought about slowing this down as well, but I think the best way you learn this, don't worry if you're not getting some of the stuff during the lecture. The real learning happens now you're familiarized and you know about some of the concepts. And where you're really going to learn is in the lab section later, where you go and try to actually build this out. So yeah, don't worry about that too much. Okay, cool. And then the other thing is you want to make sure you test for mobile because believe it or not, over 50%, I think it's 60% of web traffic actually happens on mobile. And then most of us end up building our web apps for the desktop, but then we check it out on mobile and it looks like it sucks. So make sure that you're viewing it for both mobile and desktop, and you can press this button to switch between mobile and desktop. So make sure both views are good. And that's about it. And yeah, the cost of the building of an app, Lovable Premium, and purchasing a domain will come out to roughly about $40 for you. And then, but again, I want to repeat, like building is actually the easier part. You'll figure out how to build this. I promise you, you'll figure out the AI tools. The harder part is like figuring out what the product is, going through those user interviews and building something people actually want and then marketing it to the people. So like really think about your product and what you're building and make sure you're building the right thing, not just building anything. Okay, cool. And now what we're going to do is we're going to break out into squads. We're going to open the breakout rooms for squads. So I've added a couple of additional features. So when you break out into your squad rooms, first, this is going to be your assigned squad. Say hello to everybody. You'll be chatting with them over the next 3 weeks. Secondly, I added an option for you guys to be able to switch rooms. If you're in a room that not a lot of people are in, or for whatever reason you don't like the most, there is an option to swap to a different room. So you can do that. And then after lecture, go ahead and check out your squads. There's a squad, so I'll show you here. If you come to your community and you come to your squads, you'll see your squad up here. There's a chat, so you can chat internally amongst your squad. If other people join the room, they will also be able to see your chat. Just be aware, it's not like fully private. And then but if you don't like your squad for whatever reason and you want to be with different people, you can come here and join a different squad. Or if you want to create your own squad, you can create your own squad and recruit people to come in. So I encourage it. And for the squad leads, feel free to come up with a theme across your members today and switch your squad name, pick a squad name for the people that you're with, right? So, and then I put a lot of time into making sure this breakout room feature works a little bit better. So hopefully there's no issues. If there is, please reminder to leave it on the attendance form so we can continue to improve both the portal and just anything you liked about the lecture you did and everything. Like I read through every single response. It's super useful. So please continue to fill that out. Yeah, so for the squad time today, and don't worry about the timings. I went a little bit longer on lecture, but what I basically want you guys to do, and I'll ignore that screen, go into your squads, spend some time chatting with each other about your ideas, give a 1-minute pitch to each other about the ideas, and give some feedback. Get into groups, huddle into little groups of like 2 to 4 people, chat about the ideas, And then if you have extra time, start working on that first lovable prompt that you're going to enter into your project, because that's going to be your first assignment for this week. Your next assignment for this week. All right. And then the other thing is there'll be an option to return to the lecture. So for whatever reason, if you don't want to participate in being in a squad, that's okay. Go ahead and leave your squads in the portal so that we don't keep assigning you out and people don't come up to you and don't want to chat with you. I highly encourage it. I think that's the most valuable thing you get out of this experience. But if you just don't want to for whatever reason, you can do that as well. Squad 28, let's go. Okay, I see people are hyped about their squads. Okay, and gave me an issue about one kid. I'll make sure to send you out an email for the link to download if you're struggling with that. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and break out the breakout rooms, and we won't have too much time. We'll have about like 10, 12 minutes in the breakout room, and then I'll have everybody reconvene to have a last 3-minute chat and go from there. Okay, cool. Breakout rooms will be starting shortly. Okay. All right. Hopefully this works well. All right, good luck, everyone. Nice, I think it's working. Okay, let's see. Who is still stuck in here? Let me know in chat if you're still stuck in here and I need to move you. Amy, Maya, did you come back here or were you stuck in here? Do I need to help at all? Maya said, if I plan first, will it use tokens and waste how many I have in the build? Yeah, planning does use up tokens, Maya, if you're still in here. You're all good? Okay, awesome. Good. For the people joining us on YouTube, I'm sorry if you felt neglected. Let me go ahead and read the chat right now and see if there's anything I can help with. I can't see your screen. Yeah, sorry about that for not being able to see the screen earlier. It is working now. Why is there a live now? Is it the same thing happening in 25? Oh, no, okay. That's fine. Okay, if YouTube people have questions, let me know. I was in the wrong breakout room. Jasmine, how do you know you were in the wrong breakout room? Were you with younger? Was it an age thing or what was wrong about it? So I can correct it for you. I forgot to add Supabase database for my project on Lovable. Is there a way to add it now? Because right now it's on Lovable Cloud. Pedram, unfortunately there's not. You're kind of stuck on Lovable Cloud now unless you kind of restart your project. But what you can do is tell within your project with the Lovable Cloud, tell it like, hey, give me a prompt to rebuild all of this and take that prompt and put it into a new project. It won't be one-to-one, but yeah. No one was in my actual squad room. Oh, Jasmine, what squad room was that? I'm sorry to hear. Everybody left you in your squad. Let me go ahead and reassign you to another squad. Wait. No one talking? Sorry, Matthew. Okay, let's reassign. So if you don't like your squad, leave your squad and go join a new squad after this session, hopefully with more interactive people. Let me try to... Do you guys have an option to join another squad room at the bottom here? Michael, thanks for letting me know about that issue. I will work to address it. Thank you. We will reach out to fix that as soon as possible after this. Room 5 but not doing anything? Okay, so what you guys can do, go ahead and join your squad rooms again. Do you have an option from here? And then if you press the 3 dots, once you're in your squad room, the 3 dots, will once you press that, there's an option to join a different squad room. So try that. Jasmine, go ahead and join room 68. Once you're in room 68, press the 3 dots at the bottom and hit join a new squad room or something along those lines. Where to find Miriam? No worries if you missed it. The lecture recordings are gonna be on YouTube, but if you go to the Help Bank Accelerator, we post a recap every week and a link to the YouTube recording as well. So go ahead and check it out there. To be fair, I can't really talk anyways. I'm sick and got a sleeping toddler. Oh, okay, no worries. Feel free to hang out here then. Is there a way to invite friends to try a project before publishing? I wouldn't worry about nobody's really gonna find your project when you publish. So I would just go ahead and publish and share the link with them. Nobody's accidentally gonna run into your product. When will it be posted? We typically post it like by tomorrow. Nobody in my lecture room, and I think my squad is inactive. Chauncey, so if you go ahead and join your squad again, join your squad. Once you're in your squad, there's a 3-dot button at the bottom right. If you click that, you can go ahead and click join a new squad room, and it'll take you to a new squad room. And then after lecture, just make sure to leave your squad and join another squad that's a little bit more active, hopefully. We'll probably do something to kick out people who aren't attending lectures or filling out the attendance forms to mix up the squads together a little bit more. Can I suggest an idea? Nirbov, yes, I would love an idea. Please do share. Ghost, what if I don't have an idea? So that is your week 1 assignment, is to come up with an idea, to like figure out what it's gonna be. And if you have no idea where to go, I would think of things you're passionate about, and then think about problems in your own life that you could maybe solve. What are things you struggle with, problems that you have, and see if you can solve one of those. Where's the kebab menu? Where's the attendance form? It's gonna be on the schedule page after lecture. So if you come over here to schedule, and you come to week 2, the attendance form is gonna be over here. In the squads, can you add a feature to invite people? Also, can we customize names to actually make it feel engaging? Nirbov, yeah. So to customize, you can't customize your personal name, but you can customize the squad name. So the squad lead has access to change the squad name. So you can request your squad lead to do that, or you can create your own squad and invite people. And then a feature to invite people to your squad, that is a good idea. That's a little bit more of a complicated feature I have to build out with like notifications, which we can, but we'll definitely add that. I don't know if we'll get around to it this week, but that's a great idea and we'll do that. Somebody said breakout room is hard to have a chat. What's happening? Andrea said it's frozen. What's frozen? Talking on top of each other? Yeah, if you're talking on top of each other, I would just move away. Get into little groups aside from each other. Please switch my room. Ask for a switch room because I already have says to ask. Maya, let me try. I'm not sure if we're able to, but we're about to reconvene here in a little bit. If anybody wants, you can raise your hand and you can come here and we can chat together. Where is the attendance sheet? It's right over here. Try that if it doesn't make a difference. We'll might have to try to fix that for next time. Is the squad working on the same app? No. Aline, you're hearing everybody? The audio in the breakout rooms is a bit buggy. Are you hearing everybody, Durant? Outside of your proximity chat? Okay, we'll get some feedback as we bring people in again. For those of you who want to raise your hand, go ahead and raise your hand and I can pull you in here. And we can chat live. I can take a couple of questions. Somebody asked, when does the VIP perks get confirmed? It takes a bit from Lovable to confirm it. As we're getting it rolled in, we're approving it. Most of the people who signed up, at least like last week, should have got it approved. If you go to your badge page, you should see this change up top and say that you're on the fast track if it got approved. If you have questions about it, feel free to reach out to us and we can double check your personal one. Tom, what's up? Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're gonna bring everybody back in a couple of minutes. Tom, Aline, Pedro, any questions? We have a quick 1 minute each for questions. Yeah, go ahead, Aline, or whoever's talking.
Sorry, I was after the one kit, actual the free Phase 53 code. I think I put in AI Squad. I can't remember what else you said.
It's AI Squad's 50.
50?
Yes, AI Squad's 50. I'll put it in chat for you.
Yeah, I actually put that in, but it wouldn't accept.
It might be that we reached a limit on the number of people using the code, but I'm not sure. If you can email me, I can help you out to make sure you get it.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, I'll do that. No problem.
Cool, awesome.
Just another one as well. I noticed that when I went to the room, that I wasn't in my squad. I was with totally random different people from the squad. Is that right?
Okay, that might have been a misalignment. Thanks for letting me know. I'll look into that. It should have been your squads, but I'll look into that after this lecture.
Yeah, I'm squad number 72, and I can't remember. It's asking me to join room 69.
Okay, I'd have to check your portal afterwards. We reassigned squads. Maybe you're in a different one. But I'll double check on that.
No, I actually changed the name of the squad, and I'm the lead.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, I'll look into fixing that. Thank you.
Very good, no problem.
Hey, Stepper, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I've got a quick question. So I already started doing my project right now, and I want to like make different layers for like accessibility layers, like for example, admin for IT supporter staff,
Sure. Yeah.
patients or customer.
Yes.
So how can I make that like in Lovable? Because I think like there's I cannot do it like in Lovable.
Good question. Good question. This is something that we've built on AI squads too, right? So like I'm an admin right now. I can host this lecture, but you guys are student role, so it's different. And the way you do it is exactly the way I talked about earlier. Open up your Google Doc and explain exactly what you were talking to me about in a Google Doc, and kind of refine your idea. But I would go and tell it like, hey, I'm building an app. I want 4 different layers of users. For user X, I want these permissions. For user Y, I want these permissions. Right? And I would kind of write it out like that and talk it all out, and then send your prompt into Lovable.
And like so there is a way that Lovable can do it. Like
yes,
it's gonna give you like 4 different
yes,
like pages or windows. Oh,
yes.
okay. That's it.
Cool.
Thank you.
Of course. And Aline, time for one more question. You're muted.
Myself, sorry. I wanted to ask, when you're first of all, if I already started the app before these classes because I think it was fun, if I already use cloud because I didn't know I was not supposed to use cloud, is it possible to go backward, or I just need to start from scratch?
Yeah, it's not possible. You don't have to start from scratch. If you want to build it on cloud, that's completely okay. But yeah, just know that like if your app scales and you want to like move it off of Lovable, you can technically move it off of Lovable, but it's just like a very difficult thing to do if you plan to do that in the future. So if you're not too far along, I would recommend starting a new project and building it off of Supabase. Yeah, so unfortunately.
Can I ask, so when you show earlier the database for the image, I'm wondering about database own ownership. So part of my app is like I would like to use different link from social media, and we post and like connect things together. People say a lot of things, but they don't organize them. And is it can you actually use someone else's post to repost it on another app? Or is it a legacy issue that when you do that, because like you show like, oh, you can use like the inspiration of this and then you upload it in Lovable.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So yeah, if you one-for-one copy somebody else's app, you'll get into legal trouble. But it's hard to get into legal trouble for that, as long as you're not using any other like custom logos or custom images that they created. If you're just copying their style, if you copied your app and it's like 90% like theirs but 10% is different, you'll more than likely be fine. Yeah. So I wouldn't worry. Steal as much as you want, basically, without like completely plagiarizing, and it should be okay.
And if you take like I don't know, a post has been done on maybe not LinkedIn, Instagram, and you want to reuse it for your website, or is that okay to do, or is that something you have to be an issue with?
That one you would have to. I mean, it depends on the country and the legality of the laws. But like, if you're pasting like somebody else's photo from LinkedIn and the message that they put, you should ask for permissions from them in many areas. But you'd have to check where you're at and what the laws are over there. But if it's a person, I would ask them for permission.
Okay, thank you.
Of course, of course. Cool, awesome. I'm gonna reconvene the breakout rooms now. Bring everybody back. We slowed down the timer to 20 seconds. People wanted more time last time. Okay, and then after that, let's see. So what is the point of the squads if we don't work on the same? Okay, well, let's have everybody rejoin and I'll answer that question. Okay, cool. Looks like people are joining back. Hopefully that experience was okay. We can hear the people, same problem. Okay. Yeah.
I think I'm still on. If you need to kick me out.
Oh, sure, yeah. Let me move you out. Thank you. Okay, yeah, so hopefully the breakout room, the great chat with everyone. Okay, today was better. Nice, glad to hear. I know a couple of you were still having problems today. I'm gonna continue to work on that to try to make it better for next time. The other thing that somebody asked is, what is the point of squads if we're not working on the same projects? The point of the squads is you're gonna need people to review your app for you, give you feedback on your app, and like just build a network to grow with, and that is the point of it, and hold you accountable. So that is the point. You can find a co-founder in this program and find somebody who you're gonna end up building an app with together past this program. But for the sake of learning AI right now, I want all of you to submit your own individual assignments. Okay, cool. So that's kind of it. Next week preview is going to be going deeper into Lovable, like how to be a Lovable expert, user authentication, Stripe payments, getting into what is Git and GitHub, and learning how to use that so that you can move your projects onto other AI tools like Cursor and Claude Code. We won't go deep into Cursor or Claude Code, but I will show you what those steps look like to start to get set up with it, which are very strong tools as well. Yeah, people were asking for my social last time in the chat, so I have the social link up as well. Just please don't forget to do your attendance forms. And then other than that, I'll be here to answer some questions again live for a little while, but feel free to drop off. And I think the Commons room should be open too. So if you guys want to leave the lecture, there's a red button. You can leave and go into the Commons room and just walk around and chat with other people if you want. So yeah, how do we give proof of Lovable purchase? This has been shared on the AI Squad's portal. Let me pull it up. So just come here onto the badges page and see the deal and submit it here. We're going to be shutting down the deal in the next couple of days, so make sure you submit this as soon as possible. Thank you for guys. Thank you guys. Thank you for attending. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for all the kind words from everyone. Okay, let's see. What questions do we have? I see some people. Okay. I still have to figure out the best way to do questions. It's just so many. It's kind of hard. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you guys. Jasmine, yeah, get some sleep. Can't find the attendance form. It's under schedule. Here, maybe I can provide a link to it. I'll put a link in the chat to the attendance. Can you remind us where to find a recorder of the lectures? Yes, it's on HelpBank. So come to HelpBank, and then you can come to all posts, and Ayush RTA makes a recap post each week, and it includes a link to the lecture recording. So the recording isn't up yet. We're still recording, but it will be up by sometime tomorrow. Okay, I'm glad people are loving their squads. That's awesome. Yeah, if you don't have a squad, make sure you join a squad before next week as well. And if you don't like your squad, make sure to leave and come back. Can I click on QA? Yes. Let me check out some of the QAs. Top ones. Where does the VIP get confirmed? Okay, yeah. So for the VIP again, you will get an email from HelpBank if you got into the VIP. Also on the AI Squad's badges page, it should the deal should go away and say that you're in Fast Track, and you'll see my office hours pop up. I submitted a request and proof for Fast Track, but haven't heard back. I don't know how fast they turn around, to be honest, but hopefully soon. If you're having individual problems, I would give it like 2-3 days, and if it didn't come through, then go ahead and reach out to us. Do you think there's a benefit to fine-tuning long-term to get something even more niche that many people can't do? Not right now, Kevin, because I think the models themselves are just advancing so fast. So by the time you fine-tune Claude 4.8, Claude 4.9 will have launched, which is all so much better than 4.8, and then you have to fine tune again. So I don't think it's worth fine tuning right now. Maybe at a future time. What happens if I submit late due to time difference? It's okay. If you submit a couple of assignments late, we're forgiving with that. But your grading might take a while if you submit late. So we will be grading this weekend for the people that have submitted. But if you submit past this, I can't guarantee you when we're going to get to your grading. Do we really need to use APIs for our projects? You don't need to, Jasmine. It just depends on your specific project. When would I need to get an API key from ChatGPT? I thought Lovable gets info from ChatGPT, so like, why would I need a ChatGPT API key? Yeah, because like, if you're setting up a feature that uses a lot of ChatGPT on your site, you're only paying Lovable $20. But what if you're spending $100 worth of ChatGPT credits, right? So that's when you need like a ChatGPT API key so you can continue using their features. Okay, let me read chat. Question. So if I'm starting out on producing good prompts in Lovable, but when does the technical stuff like tokens, APIs, and tying with other platforms you mentioned become relevant? Asad, like, I would recommend build it, and like the AI will kind of tell you. Like, as you start building it, if you get stuck somewhere, the AI will likely tell you like, hey, you need an API key for this. And then you can go get the API key, right? And AI is your best friend. It's the smartest thing in the world. Whatever you're stuck on, just ask it. Ask it like, hey, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Do I need an API key to give you? And it'll answer it. Please explain how to join the squad one more time. Okay, one last time about joining squads. So if you come to the portal and you come to community on the left-hand side, then you come to squads at the top, you'll have your assigned squad here. If you don't have an assigned squad, it will say that you're a free agent. So you can browse through all these different squads, see which ones are open, and the ones that are open, you can come and hit join squad and join a squad here, whichever one you like. Look at the people in the group. There's different themes for each squad. So yeah, you can kind of find it from there. The names might show what the group is about a little bit. Okay, ooh, a lot of questions. Can we have a link to Help Bank? Yes, you can. Let me drop a link to Help Bank. Could you review my idea? I don't specifically review any ideas. If you sign up for Lovable Pro, maybe in the chat, in the office hours I have, but typically the TAs will either be reviewing it or we have an AI going through them, just because there's so many. If I had to go through 600 idea reviews, I wouldn't be able to sleep for the next 2 months. Lost audio, cannot hear. I think that might be on your end. Do we need Supabase or can I continue with Lovable Cloud? You can continue with Lovable Cloud. Just like be aware of the trade-offs if you stick on Lovable Cloud where you can't get off of Lovable in the future. Can we change something about the circles around the people? I can hear a ton of people talking. Andrea, yeah, I'll work on that. Can I get a yes, it was working, and no, it was not working? Yes, no, yes, no. I want to see how many people the audio rings were working well for and how many people were struggling with it for next time. Can I get a yes and no? Okay. Okay. It seems like a good 30% of people, the audio rings weren't perfect for still. But it seems like we're getting a lot more yeses. Apologize. Apologies for the people who it wasn't working the best with. I'm working on. It's just like super hard to test this because I tested with like 5 people and with my 3 different laptops and 2 phones. But then testing it for 600 people at the same time is a bit tough. But hopefully we'll have it working for next time. There was. Okay. Oh, dang. Okay, Tanya, that is a great point. Yes, please put as specific as you can get and share the feedback with me in the attendance forms. It's going to just help me so much on getting it even better for the next time around. Cool. I second this. The breakout rooms don't work. The circle feature doesn't work in particular. Yeah. I'll continue to work on that. Better than last time? Good. As long as we're improving. Where is the attendance form? It's on the portal. Does the video feature to work to see people? Yes. I'll bring in a couple of people who are raising their hands. Okay, let's raise some hands and get questions from people raising their hands now. All right. Okay, I've accepted some of you in here who have raised your hands. Feel free to go ahead and unmute your mic and share your question if it's something that's useful for everybody to talk about.
Is this me?
Yes, hi Zane, go ahead.
Hi. So yeah, I just had a question. I actually got carried away with Lovable, and I've built up the app quite a bit.
Nice, love
So
that.
yeah, I just wanted to know, how do I tackle this assignment for this week if I've already prompted it, and yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't want you to go to the redo any work if you've already prompted it. If you can scroll up and give us your first prompt, go ahead. This is mainly for you so that we can give you feedback on how you're prompting. So like, don't worry about it. You can just like tell us you've already built it if you have, and just like give us a link to your project.
Okay. Yeah, because I think I'll have to scroll up for quite a bit. This is
Don't worry about it. The assignments, the goal of the assignments is to help you, not have you spend unnecessary time doing things that's not beneficial to you. So just submit whatever makes sense, and we'll handle it from there.
Okay, perfect. And I did publish it on Lovable, and I got a link for it, but I think I tried to share it with a friend and it didn't work. So I don't know how it's broken behind in the back end, or I'm not sure why my friend couldn't see it.
It should work. You might have like missed going all the way through. Just go on, if you go on Lovable, like make sure it says published when you come here.
Yeah, it does. And I've got the link.
And
Yeah.
it says publish up to date and has the link.
Yeah.
Share it in the chat. Maybe we can check it out. Some people can click on it, see if it works. And then if it doesn't still, what I would do is I would go into your Lovable chat and tell it this problem. Tell it, hey, I publish on Lovable. It says up to date. This is the link, but people can't see it, and this is the error that they get. What should we do to solve it?
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I would go about trying to fix it with the AI.
Okay, perfect. And just one last question. So when I built with Lovable, I also like to just see a demo of how it would look. So it has like mock-up data.
Okay.
How can I remove that once I'm actually trying to launch the app? Isn't that just AI swap then? At that point?
You want mock-up. So one thing you can do is have a separate Lovable project for when you're doing the mock-ups. But if you want to have it on your same project, what you could do is I would recommend like, you see up here when you come and click this arrow?
Yeah.
So this is the home page I'm on right now. But if your app has multiple pages, it would show all the different pages. And what I would do is I would tell the AI, hey, create a page and let's call it like /mockup. And anytime I ask you for mockup pages, put it at the top of this page so I can take a look. And then like I would tell it like track everything that you put in /mockup so that we can clean up in the future and not show any of the mockup page to actual users. Something like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes absolute sense. Yeah, I should have thought about that. And then thank you every chat for saying that the link works. It's a big relief.
Okay, nice. There you go. Awesome. Congrats.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks everyone.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Andrea, is your mic unmuted? Do you have a question?
Hello, I can't hear anyone. I can't see anything.
Can you hear me? Okay, that seems like it's... Andrea, can you see me? Hear me?
I cannot hear. I cannot see.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Is anybody else here that has a question in the meanwhile? Okay, let me accept a few more people. All right, we have a few more people joining. If you have a question, if you can also turn on your video, it would be great so others can see you as well. If you can't, it's all right. But for the people who just joined, feel free. The people raising their hands to unmute and ask. Mohammed Reza, you're muted.
Hey, thanks for the class. It was amazing. I have some questions. I'm an old schooler. If I want to add a CPU, or how can I use my CPU memory as I'm using Lovable? Because for hosting, I usually use some sites that I can put the host information and I can put the amount of CPU or RAM I want. I pay more and I have more. What I can do in Lovable, and how can I put my domain on it? And another question is, because SEOing my site, the speed is important for me. Does it have some features Lovable that I can do that stuff? I would be grateful if you explain that.
Yeah, so for the hosting that happens, Supabase, you'll have to check Supabase. So you're basically renting like the servers from Supabase, and you can purchase different plans on Supabase for however many CPUs you want and things like that. So I would check out Supabase if you want to have your own custom. Like you don't want to use Supabase. It seems like you're familiar with hosting things before, so you don't have to use Supabase if you don't want. And if you're more technical, I would recommend like maybe just go straight into using Cloud Code if you've done this kind of setup before and build your app straight on Cloud Code instead of Lovable.
No, actually, I have not. I have used WordPress before. My last site was WordPress, so yeah, I haven't any information about that.
Okay.
But thanks, I will use it. Thanks. Thank you for your guidance.
Okay, of course. Yeah. Then regarding that, I would just launch with your app, see if you have any performance issues, and if you need to raise the number of CPUs or whatever you have, it would be on Supabase. You would basically go and pay for a more expensive plan on there to support that.
Thanks.
Of course. Cool. Who's next? Go ahead, Lewis. I see you.
Is it me?
Yes.
Yeah, I was weird. Sorry about that. There's connection difficulties. Yeah, so very similar. My app's all built, as you know, from week one. Just waiting for it to literally be marked, and I'm more than happy to help my squad build their projects.
Awesome. That's amazing. So I would do a couple of things around that. One, you have the squad chat. If you want to help your particular squad, go ahead and post a message in there. See if anybody needs any help. Another one, if you just want to post more generally, coming onto Help Bank and making a post here, telling people like, hey, I'm free. I'd love to help people out if you need anything, and helping whoever you can. But I'm sure a lot of people could use some help, so that would be great.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few tweaks I want to do, which obviously you said you'd give us a hand in the office hours tomorrow. We're sorting them out. Just want to
there's an office
optimize
hours.
a few things.
Yes, I don't have an office hours tomorrow, but I believe Ayush has an office hour that he's hosting tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, someone has. Someone said they would sit with me and go through. So
yes.
Yeah, no drama. And yeah, once I'm done with that, that literally is my project done. So yeah, I'm quite happy to share my knowledge and help anyone aspiring to unlock the secrets in here. Got 7 years of coding up in here, so you're more than welcome to pick any thread you like.
Amazing. That's really helpful. I think a lot of people could use some like technical help, so that would be great. And then maybe you can work on marketing your app at the same time while you're kind of doing that if it's ready to go.
Oh, that's the plan. I know I've already got like I know where I'm going. I've got a roadmap. Literally, my first target audience is going to be security, so police. Going to go down at the police station and do a bit of marketing directly from the feds.
I love that. I'm excited to see it. Nice, awesome. Yeah, thanks for offering the help. If anybody needs Lewis's help in the chat, let him know. Put in a message.
Yeah, just, how do we select a new leader? Because our leader isn't even there, and we all voted Jason to be our squad leader.
So we don't have any we probably need to set up like a democracy system at some point. I don't know. Let me know if you have ideas. What I would recommend.
We can't change the squad name.
Sorry?
We can't change the squad name because the leader ain't there.
Yeah. What I might do.
And we all nominated Jason to be the leader.
What squad number are you?
37.
37. Okay. Let's I don't have access to it right now, but you want Jason to be the leader?
Yes. Well, that was public opinion.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see Jason all the time in that portal. Okay. I'll update it when I have a chance to make Jason the leader for the squad.
All beans, brother. Nice one.
Yep, you got it. Cool.
Sweet beans. All right, I'll let someone else take center stage. Cheers, pal.
Thanks, Lewis. See you. Henriette, I see your mic on. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I want. Do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. The thing is, I have a subscription on ChatGPT and Claude, and of course I went ahead and subscribed to Lovable as well. But my question is, do I need to have like a Lovable after this to continue using, like to continue creating my apps, or what would you kind of like advise me? So
Yeah.
keep my costs down.
Yeah. Good question. So if you build your app on Lovable, it won't shut down. It'll go to the free plan. So you just wouldn't have a lot of credits to continue working on it. But if you kind of like finished it in the first month, then you would be all right. So yeah, it depends on what your plans are. What I typically recommend for people, it's like build your app on Lovable first, and then over time, as you get better, take it off of Lovable and move it to Claude Code, which is a tool that's more difficult to use, but also stronger. So we'll talk a little bit about how that works in the next session too, and then you can get kind of gauge of like, do I want to use Claude Code, or is this too difficult, or do I rather stay on Lovable, and then decide from there what you want to do. But yeah, if you plan to keep like 2 out of the 3 and Lovable is easier, I would keep Lovable. And
yeah. Before the thing is that before I signed up for this AI squad, which I'm really loving so much, and I thank you guys for organizing this. My idea was to like like dive into cloud code and actually learn it and stuff like that. So this AI squad is kind of like just kind of opening it up to AI as in general. And then after this, my plan is to like really just pick one of those platforms and like really dive deep into them and see how much I can get. And yeah.
Okay, awesome. If that is your plan and you have like the time to go for it and want, I would definitely recommend it. Claude Code is an amazing tool. It just takes more setup.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Of course. All right, Michael, Toby, any questions? Nope. Okay. All right. We'll accept a couple. We have a bunch of people who have raised their hands. I'll accept a good chunk. All right. For people joining us now who've raised their hands, feel free to unmute your mic and turn on your video to ask a question.
I don't have my video, but I have my mic. So I got a question I want to ask directly. This is the issue I found when coding with Lovable. I've done like a project in the past where I've like tried to replicate Twitter, if you get what I mean. And it worked all fine. And then I tried to export it with well, when I say it works fine, it's just like the design of it is works fine because the functionality of the app itself was non-existent and nothing was working whatsoever. So when I tried to export it, and I noticed that a lot of the code, it's like all linked to Lovable. Everything is default, like connected to the service Lovable. So when you export it, it doesn't actually function. So then I had to attach it to like my Visual Studio Code. I had ChatGPT attached to it, and then I had to manually ask ChatGPT to rewrite the Lovable code to make it functional without it. So I'm asking, is there like a workaround where I can do it, like I can avoid it being like connected to Lovable?
Yeah. So I'm guessing you used Lovable Cloud when you set up that project.
Correct? I just press a new, start a new project. I'm not sure.
Let me go through it. So that is the part that I was talking about today, where you press plus here and make sure to connect to Supabase. And exactly the problem you ran into is what I'm trying to deter people from. If you go down Lovable Cloud, it all gets linked to the Lovable backend and everything, right? But if you keep it on Supabase, then it won't be attached to anything Lovable. So then that makes the export process really simple when you want to switch off to it.
So like the code itself that it builds, it won't be related to the Lovable Cloud.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
So how? I think I might have missed the part on how you attach Supabase. Is it like you have to like register a free account or something?
Yeah, free account. You just come here, press the plus button, go to databases, and then I already have mine set up, but for yours it will be like login to Supabase.
Is it like online in a browser, or do you download Supabase?
Online on a browser. You just set up an account. Super simple.
All right. Thank you. Also, one more question. Like, I kind of not sure about like what these squad stuff. Do I just join a random one and see how it goes?
Just join a random one. Just some group people to talk with, hold you accountable. Just find one where the theme looks similar to fit you and go.
Okay, because there's like over 100 of them.
Yeah. I know it's hard to pick one. Just pick a random one.
Yeah. That's all for me. Thank you.
All right. Of course. Yeah. That's a great. So for everybody watching, that's a great. You heard it from him. He struggled a bunch to move his project off of Lovable because he didn't use Supabase. He used Lovable Cloud. So if you plan to move it off, which I recommend keeping that option open, make sure to click the Supabase option when you start your project. Other people in here: Lucas, Toby, Mohammed, Serena. Anybody else? Question? Go ahead if you want to unmute. If not, I'll accept some other people. Okay, accepting some people. All right, for those of you joining, questions.
Hello again.
Oh, Levi. Oh, either one of you, go ahead. Levi, let's start off with Levi. I heard you first.
My question is regarding the accelerator program for those who purchase Lovable Pro. Should we get a response regarding our application for that?
Yeah, HelpBank is sending out those updates, so we're doing it as fast as we can as it comes. I would, if it's been like over 3 or 4 days and you haven't got a response, I would reach out. Otherwise, give it 3 or 4 days and hopefully you should get updated.
Okay, and my second question is, if I intend to do something more complex that Lovable can't really handle because it doesn't really handle backend code so well, would you recommend starting with Lovable before transitioning to Claude Code or Codex, or would it be better to just skip the Lovable stage altogether and just build right directly in Claude Code or Codex to avoid any like mismatch or confusion between the two?
I wouldn't say Lovable is bad at building backend. Depends on what your project is, but I think it's pretty good at it. But if you're feeling like you want to go straight to a more powerful tool like Claude Code, I say go for it if you feel like it's not too difficult and you kind of have the grit to get through and figure out how to do it. If you're just starting out and you want an easier learning curve, I would recommend starting with Lovable.
I do, but it feels like a waste to purchase Lovable to get into the accelerated program, only to not use it at all, basically, and directly go to Codex.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to purchase Lovable for this. You could. It's like optional, I guess, for the fast track. I would leave it to you. But if you ultimately think like Lovable is gonna be a waste of your time, even if you wasted money on it, I wouldn't recommend using it. If you just feel like long term you want to be on Claude Code, like it's the sunken cost fallacy, right? I would just move to Claude Code at that point if you feel like it's better for you.
Yeah,
Have you tried Lovable? Have you tried it and it wasn't good enough for what you're doing?
In the past, I tried to build a Telegram bot with Lovable. It immediately just told me to skip it, basically, and I built it using Claude Code instead, basically.
Who told you to skip it? And sorry.
I tried building a Telegram bot, and it told me that it only handles like UIs and web pages, and it doesn't do like lots of complex backends regarding. Also, when I just did research now, it told me that Lovable handles all its backend using Supabase. Basically, it doesn't handle any backend code.
No,
so if you want to have
so that's not true. I think you chatted to the wrong AI or something. Your project, whatever you're building, I'm sure you could build it on Lovable. Oh, no, I'm not 100% sure, but more than likely, if you're building a website, you can build it on Lovable. It handles backend, it handles the Supabase, everything that Claude Code can do, Lovable can pretty much do. Claude Code just, because even Lovable uses Claude, right? So it has the same brain. It just Claude uses a lot more tokens, and it's a lot more expensive if you're going to end up using Claude Code. But so it becomes a little bit smarter from that.
Let's go try to start with Lovable, see how it goes, and then try to transition it to Codex or Claude Code later on.
That sounds like a good plan. Cool. Thanks, Levi. Eduardo, any questions? And Levi, if you could mute your mic, if you don't have a question.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I have a few questions. You keep on saying that if you scale, you move it off Lovable. So is Lovable not able to handle, for example, 100,000 users?
It is. Lovable is able to scale. What I mean more so is when you scale, it will likely be more than you alone working on the project, right?
Okay.
And it's probably not going to be like 50 people using Lovable. It'll probably be people using different tools. So that is a little bit more of what I mean. By when you scale.
I got a few other questions. Like on on a standard development, usually you have different environments, right? You have a QA environment and you have production environment. In Lovable, I guess your QA is that preview only, or do they have some sort of QA environment?
Yeah. No, there isn't really much of a QA environment. I guess like most people using Lovable, it's early products, so it's like you don't really necessarily need these different features yet. But yeah. Eventually, that's something you would have to set up separately. I've heard Lovable plans to launch something like that, but I haven't seen them do it yet.
Okay, I did my project since the first week, and I'm actually quite ahead, I would say. But I didn't use the Supabase thing. Yeah. So can you convert after it's done? Can I tell them like switch to Supabase instead of Lovable Cloud?
Unfortunately, not. Yeah, you can basically throw an AI at your project to have it try to rebuild it, but like it's not. Yeah, you're gonna like have some headache, just like you heard somebody previously talking about it. I don't know if you were here.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I see. Then I guess my last question, it has to do with credits and how they are consumed within Lovable. Because I have within my application, I have you have some text that you say, for example, you hire a freelancer and you say do QA on my website, and then you have a button where you can expand that using AI. Okay. And I don't have any ChatGPT key or anything, so it's all been handling within Lovable. So I guess next lecture you will be talking about how credits are consumed within Lovable or not?
Yeah, I mean, yes, a little bit. Kind of what I chatted about this week as well. So what I would recommend for you right now, what's happening is Lovable is probably just consuming your credits to do these responses, and you're pretty quickly going to run out of those credits if you just continue pressing it. So what I would go is go tell your Lovable chat like, hey, for this feature over here where you're using AI, first of all, for your learning, you can tell it, hey, explain to me what you're doing, what AI you're using, and whatnot. But then what it's gonna have to do, it's gonna probably tell you like, hey, I'm using my Lovable AI credits or whatever it's linked to, and you're gonna tell it, okay, can we switch this over to use a ChatGPT API key? And then you'll tell it that, and then it'll say, okay, provide me the key, and it'll tell you where to paste it. And I forgot to go back to this during lecture. See, it says here, add a secret, and it provided a place to type in the OpenAI API key. So I would just paste my OpenAI API key in here and submit, and then it would wire it all up.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Of course. Rosalind?
Yeah, hi. Earlier on, you showed us some websites to go to get the look and feel of something we might like for our particular app.
Yes.
What were they?
Yes, in the recap post we'll include those, but I'll also put it in the chat if you want to check. Oops, sorry, I clicked off my screen. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So you can also check out in the chat. I'll put a couple of them right now.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Of course. Cool. And then Levi, Patrono. If you raise your hands, please lower it and raise it again, because I left the room and I kind of deleted all the raised hands by accident. Toby, the unmute button should be along the bottom. If you're on the phone, just scroll down a bit. Hopefully you see it.
Can you kick me out?
Yes, let me kick you out. All right. We're accepting the next set of raised hands. Serena, how are you doing? You're muted. Your camera.
I was waiting for the unmute to come off. I'm so well, thank you, and I really loved tonight. I joined midweek, so I missed the launch, just because it was a new program to me. Quick question, please. I very rapidly signed up to your one kit. Like, I didn't even know what I was doing or what I was buying. I was like, this is amazing. I'm one of those people. So, you hooked me in.
Yeah.
But when I click on the downloads, so I'm working on my desktop, it's telling me that my email isn't accepted, and I don't have a confirmation email either. So I'm not asking for that to be fixed right here, right now. I'm just kind of letting you know. So I think other people in the chat had the same thing. This is for the people in the chat. Like, everyone does this. Obviously, in international fine. But otherwise, it would be great to have that resolved. But loving it. So a bit of positive feedback for you. Do you know what would be? It's not a question. It's more of a request. I found this to be incredibly fast-paced, which I don't mind because I can follow it up. Is there any chance to have some kind of agenda or something in advance so that those who are interested or maybe a bit behind can do a little bit of reading so they can come in and, like, my mind's gone, API key, what the hell? Like, Supabase, I didn't even know how to do that. So anything that, in advance would be really handy. But thank you very much.
Thank you for both the suggestion and the one kid thing. Bear with us with the one kid thing. Thank you for letting me know. We'll fix it. We'll email you out.
Don't worry, you've got my money. It's all good. Well, thank you.
Of course, thank you. And in terms of the pre-readings, we don't have like an exact pre-read. We give optional pre-work, so you get like a look at what's coming in the next week in the announcement, so you can check that out. But I think some optional pre-reads would be nice as well to include.
Where do I see that whole?
It's on the Help Bank Accelerator. Are you in the Help Bank Accelerator?
Right. Yes. I think I haven't received emails, and all my emails are like, this will launch on the 13th. But I obviously got that on the 17th, and it's like, expect your full a full like schedule list that hasn't come through, and then I never got an email to say that my fast track had been approved. I only knew that because it had. So
okay.
There's not connecting.
Okay. Thanks for letting me know. I'll reach out to Help Bank for that and see if they can help us get the email.
All right. Thank you so much. That's me done.
Thank you. Let me make a note of that. Cool. Who's next?
Hello, good evening, Seb. Thank you so much for your time and for everything that you're doing for the community. I'll be super quick. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can. Thank you. Yes.
I do apologise. My camera is acting very annoying, so I'll be very quick. So my idea is a little bit different. I have played around with Lovable prior to joining this course. And my idea is a little bit different. So it's centered around an app that users would need to download onto their phones, which would then connect to a wearable device. So my question to you is, will the course also cover how to create mobile apps? I know you mentioned earlier on today that that side is a little bit more complex, but I am kind of ready for the challenge. So I guess what I would be grateful for is any additional support or guidance, or if anyone on the Health Bank community has expertise on mobile app development and the technical considerations involved in creating and connecting an app to a wearable device.
Okay. Yeah, that's great questions. Couple of things. One, does this course cover that? No, we don't cover mobile apps. It's kind of like you would have to kind of do supplemental learning on the side, just on your own, trying to figure that piece out and build it. A lot of the themes are similar of like the prompting and such, but it's going to be some self-learning that you got to go after. I would recommend checking out. I would build my app on like Claude Code or Codex if I was building a mobile app. Lovable is more suited for web apps. And then the other thing is the wearable piece. So that part I don't think it's too bad. You can probably figure out the mobile app part. And then the wearable piece, the main thing is figuring out if the wearable device gives access for people to connect to their. We talked about APIs today, right?
Yeah.
So that wearable you talked about is going to have an API service. If it has an API service, you got to see if it's public or not, because some people ban it where you can't like access anything from the wearable. So you'd have to figure that out, and then once you figure that out, it kind of be the same process that we're talking about here. You would figure out how to get the API key from the wearable and then connect it with your app, and then it would be a lot of like asking AI to link things up and like guide you along the way.
There is something that is called SDK. It doesn't mean, I think it's a software development kit. I've been speaking to a few suppliers. It's completely new to me. So they said that they can give that to us and we can plug that in to the app. But again, I come from a non-technical background, so I'm trying to put all the puzzles pieces together.
No, you're doing great. Yeah, that's exactly what you need. The SDK is going to be kind of like the equivalent of the API, or the SDK might have like APIs within it. So that is exactly what you need. It's great that they'll give you access to that. So then yes, given those two things, you can go ahead and build the mobile app. What I would recommend for you, I guess, is maybe just download Claude Code or Codex and just tell it you want to build a mobile app, and it'll do it for you and start generating it for you instead of doing it on Lovable. What will be the tougher? So you should pretty quickly, with very little setup, be able to start making the app and seeing what it looks like and all of that. Now getting it published, there's a couple of extra steps that you gotta go through, but you can worry about that later. Get the app working first with Cloud Code, and then you can figure out the deployment steps when you get to it.
So, because you are in high demand, I don't know if I'll ever get the opportunity to speak to you. So, what could you just give me a quick lowdown on what I would do after that, so I know my points that I need to work on much later on?
Yeah, so you'll need to you need to make an Apple developer account, and they charge like $99 a month for that. You'll need to install. How is money for you? Is money a consideration or no?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to plug some things aside. Yeah.
Okay, so I personally use Cloud Code $200 plan. But if you either go with that, or if that's too much, do the $100 Codex ChatGPT plan is what I would recommend. Buy one or the other of that, and then use that to build your mobile app, and just prompt it exactly like we talked about today on how to build it. Prompt it, except tell it this: we're building a mobile app.
Okay, and that's mainly for like mobile apps, and then what do I do after that? Sorry, I'm still learning.
Yeah, and after you build it, you have to publish it to the App Store. That's going to be a little bit more difficult, but I wouldn't worry about it for now. It's just a matter of figuring out like some other applications you got to fill out to get on the App Store.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. I'll let you answer other questions.
All right, of course. Thanks, Larry.
Thank you.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello.
Hi, Lucas.
Hello. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sorry.
No worries. It's a pear, like the fruit pear. It's a pear.
Okay, it's a pear. Okay, it's a pear. I have a question. So I've already made a page for a website for myself. I'm a lawyer from Paraguay, and what would you recommend if I've already created this and I have all my project in GitHub, and I want to make like an MVP feature inside this website I have with my domain? Could I make that in Lovable and then like export it to my GitHub project and put it there, paste it there, then make the marketing thing? So
is this going to be a project that's a separate code base or the same code base as your existing project? And if you don't know the answer to that, that's okay.
So I actually don't know quite well, because what I'm trying to build with Lovable right now with you guys in this accelerator program is like a scrapper thing, like a scrapper for a website where I can download court rulings.
Okay.
In my city only.
Okay.
So it is very specific in my city only. So kind of a rack project you were mentioning before. It's kind of that, a rack project. So people, lawyers, or even common people could read resumes of court rulings, like, and that is what that feature I want to put it in my web page.
And then, do you want the URL of this web page to be the same as your other one that you have already, or no?
Yes.
Is it very important for you? Because we can obviously make that happen, but I think the best bet, what I would recommend, is just building it on Lovable. It will have a different URL. You could still include it on your other side. You would just have a link of like, hey, click here to do this, and they click it and it goes to this other. So the page URL switches, right? Now, could you build it so it's on the existing platform too? Yes. But it's just a little bit more like hassle you might have to figure out.
Okay, I understand. So, what do you think about the idea as a whole? Do you think it is like to make it? I've already been working with a scrapper with I don't know if it's the SDK it is called the Selenium, a library called Selenium with Python, and I made the scrapper. I built it in Selenium, and I kind of make it work. But what I'm struggling with, I did that without all the cloud thing. I was before I didn't have a paid plan in cloud. Now I have, and when I was working with this Selenium project, I made it, but the principal problem or hassle I was having is the thing that I can make it work autonomously. Like, because what I want is to every Friday I wanted to retrieve data.
Yeah, so that's kind of like deployment that we talked about, right? Where you need
Okay.
to deploy something, so it's not running just on your local laptop. For that, I it depends how you want to do it. You could do it through Lovable. If you've done it in Python already with Claude, it might be easier to just use Claude Code and host it off of Claude Code. That's probably what I would recommend for you. It's just like continue using Claude Code, and then tell it, hey, all the Python code is in here. Help me figure out how to host this so I can have it run each Friday. That's what I would recommend. And it'll probably tell you to use some hosting service like Vercel or something. It'll give you the guide. It'll be a little complicated, but like that's the best thing. It's a great teacher, right? Just tell it like I don't know anything about this. Act like I'm a 5-year-old and give me the step by step of where I need to go, what to press, and it'll guide you through the process of doing that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, sure.
Cool, awesome.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Super.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Lucas.
Hello?
Hey, Sapir. Sorry. Who am I hearing? I'll prior. I think I heard Raseb go on first.
Hello, can you see me?
Yes, I can see you, Raseb.
Oh, it's just I said in the chat, can anyone see me? I think someone said they couldn't, so I thought there was a problem there.
Oh, really? Oh, can you guys see Raseb? Can you guys see Raseb and Juan, or just Raseb right now? I think because you weren't talking, they weren't seeing you. It's just like the.
Oh right, yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, I had a couple of questions. I think I have like about 3 questions. I think one of them was I tried emailing the email info@aisquads.
Yes.
.org.
Yes.
I tried emailing them, and I think it was Ayush.
Yes.
Replied. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was Ayush. I told them about my idea because I didn't get a chance to really tell many people about it, so I wasn't sure if it was a good idea. Is it okay if I could tell about it here, or is it better if I do it in the office hour?
I think the office hours. I try not to go hop into ideas because then all of this will become people pitching their ideas. But yeah, office hours and the assignment too will be graded to give you some feedback. But you could hop into office hours for additional support on that too.
Yeah. It's just I told them my idea there, and they said Ayush said it was a bit vague.
Okay.
And so I thought I wanted to address that here, so you guys were aware of it.
Okay. I would try with Ayush. You could also resubmit your assignment if you like, if it was a bit vague, to add more detail, so he has a better understanding to be able to give some feedback on that.
But could I speak to Ayush on I think tomorrow? I think
he'll have
okay. I think my other question is it alright if I could? I don't know if this is okay. Is it okay if I could post my link to my socials? So I think people could follow me and learn more about my idea, and perhaps give me some feedback as well. Because I think I just need some feedback. Because I'm not sure. Because what I don't want to do is I make an idea or a product and then no one knows it, no one needs it.
Yeah. That's great. There's actually a show your work section on the HelpLink Accelerator specifically for this, for people to share what they're doing and get feedback.
Right. Okay.
So go ahead and post it over here.
Oh, okay. And is it also okay if I could post my in the chat in my social media so people can follow me online as well?
Go for it.
Okay, I'll post it here just in a minute. I think it'll take me like about 10 seconds.
Take your time. In the meanwhile, Juan, we can chat.
Well, thank you very much, Sapir. I'll also try talking to you on the Wednesday office hours as well.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Thanks for.
Thank you.
See you. Juan, you're muted. If you still have a question.
Yeah, I'm right here. I just give me a sec. I just want to mute because I'm about to hop on another class, and I just wanted to have like 5 minutes. So, well, I guess I have a couple of questions. The first one is regarding the one-kit access. I actually was able to get the discount, and I want to try it out. But the thing is that whenever I try to get the email for the code, it says like it has been already too many attempts to log in and it doesn't work. So I don't know how I can troubleshoot that.
Wait, when you try to put in the code on the Stripe, you can't do it?
Yeah, I bought the subscription. I got a subscription using my phone, and I'm pretty sure this is the email address that I used. And then so I type it in and it doesn't work. It says like it has been too many attempts to log in.
Okay, let me
try
check
again.
out. Can you put your email in the chat and I'll contact you about that after.
Okay, sure. Can you see it?
Yes.
It's JPS, alright. Awesome, thank you.
Cool.
Well, that's the first one, and the second one is the second one is about Lovable. I mean, the Lovable cloud. I was really trying to pay attention to the class, but for some reason my phone would when we have good connection when I was on the bus transportation, and I just had to like leave, and I hit it. So I'm gonna for sure watch the recap again during the week, and I'm gonna try my best to attend the home office hours. But I mean the office hours. So the thing is, I want to make sure my project is on Supabase. I opened it like a project using the name of a company I was making, and I think I got Supabase linked to it. I don't know if it's the same, because when I asked Lovable about my project and they asked if it was all the database was stored in Supabase, it said yes, but it was still managed by Lovable Cloud. I mean, Lovable Cloud. I don't know if it's the same thing or if it's different.
So
because it says
you do see my screen? If you come here and you press more and you come here and
Uh-huh.
and you'll see here if it's linked to Supabase, it'll show. If it's linked to Lovable Cloud, it'll show this.
Okay, yes, let me check it out. Just one sec. I'm gonna make sure because I don't want to keep building something that I won't be able to download. What it says here, it doesn't show me that. It shows the database and shows here user storage secrets, AI emails. It also is a larger list. Like you have only 4 options. I got like
you likely so let me show you a project that has so if I come to this one in comparison, it shows Supabase. So if it's connected to Supabase, it should show Supabase connected.
All right, so I am. It's weird. I mean, I don't see any of those. I mean, any of those options. I mean, neither the first one nor the last one that you're showing
cloud
now.
button or no?
Yeah, when I click on cloud, it just says AI, email, database, user, storage, secrets, and logs.
Okay, so you're on Lovable Cloud.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So how can
Supabase, it'll show. You would have to start a new project. You can't switch from cloud to Supabase, unfortunately.
Because I really wanted to like download the project and then use it. I mean, export it so I can continue working on it separately.
It's tough. I recommend grabbing. You can like try to download your code. You can search up YouTube tutorials on like the best way to do it. It's a little bit complicated, but like depends on how far you are on the project. You could ask Lovable, hey, give me a prompt that would regenerate this same project in a new Lovable chat, and then it'll give you a prompt and you copy paste that and put it into a new chat. But yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, unfortunately.
But there is an option on code below that down below. It says download code base.
You can also download the code base and paste it. But even then, like the code base has been built on top of Lovable Cloud, so the AI will have to adjust it accordingly.
Oh, so I want to have to use AI to like transcript or like decrypt it, so I can keep working on it.
You would have AI like basically have to change it. Right now it's linked to Lovable Cloud. It'll have to change pieces of the code to hook it up to Supabase.
Oh, okay. But the other option is like to ask the Lovable AI. I mean, the Lovable AI to give me like a full prompt of all the full structure of the website. I mean, software.
It won't be one-to-one, but it'll be a starting point for you to restart.
Restart, right? Yeah. So whenever I want to try the Supabase thing, I just create a new project. Whenever I click on the plus sign and I go to database, it says here Supabase down below.
Yeah.
And I can create a project. But at first I need to create a project on Supabase, and then I need to get back to Lovable.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh, okay, that's the difference.
Yes. So for everybody else who's wondering, you come to database, and I have my project here. Otherwise, it would say like sign into Supabase or set a project with Supabase.
Right.
You click that,
Mhm.
and then you set it up. It's just like it asks you for like a title. That's it. It's pretty simple. And then you click it.
Yeah. All right. So now I need to just download all the information I have already stored in my project, and then I can start again.
Yep.
Okay.
Excuse
Thank
me.
you. Thank you.
Cool.
Excuse me. Can I ask a question? One last question, Saber.
Yes. Go ahead.
So you were saying before that you can use your API code from. I can use my API code from Cloud to don't use the credits of Lovable when creating the project. I just tried to do that, but I think it doesn't. I just asked directly in Lovable. I want to use my API from Cloud to create this project, and I think it doesn't understand that I want to use it on Lovable, the API key. I think it just understands that for the project that I'm going to build with the credits of Lovable, what API. So how can I
We
do
have to
that?
be a little bit more specific in the terms
Okay.
of. First, let me understand. You have a feature on your app, and that feature has like an expand to explain with AI. Correct? Is that what you mentioned?
Sorry, can you say that again?
You have a particular feature on your app that you said like you press to like explain with AI, or was that somebody? Was that a different student?
Yeah, no. It was me, but I'm just trying to use Lovable with another thing, and I wanna build it with an API of
Yes.
key.
Let me clarify it a little bit. So I have this app right here for
Yes.
generating ideas. If I
Yes.
type something into here and press pass judgment, this uses
Perfect.
credits, right? And
Yes,
then
yes.
You have a similar feature on your app that you want to use Claude API credits for. The way that you just explained to me that you explained to Lovable, I think what Lovable thinks is it thinks instead of using Lovable credits to chat here on the sidebar, you want to use Claude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you got to specify to it exactly, and this is like the context engineering that we're talking about, right? Giving it all the context. Is I would come and explain to it whether it's a screenshot or tell it like it is this specific text box. This specific text box, when a person presses this button, an AI is used to generate something. I want to switch that piece out to use this ChatGPT API key.
Okay.
Does that make
Perfect.
sense? Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Cool.
yes.
Cool. Perfect. Yeah. If you prompt it like that, it should get it.
Thank you.
Of
Thank
course.
you. Thank you.
Rachel, I see your mic unmuted. Do you have a question?
Yes. I'm just going to try and put my camera on so you can.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
There we go. See the top of my head anyway.
Nice.
So I've just got a few generic questions, so hopefully they won't take too long. So I've actually got an account with Perplexity. I think I pay £20 a month. How does that hold up against the others? Is that something I should shut down? What do you think, Perplexity?
All of these AI tools are so great. My recommendation typically is if you're using one and it's doing what you need and you don't have any problems with it, stick with it. Keep using it, right? I personally don't recommend Perplexity over something like Claude or ChatGPT. I would use one of those if I were to recommend someone starting out. But if you've gotten used to it, and I know Perplexity does like web search pretty well and finding citations pretty well as compared to other tools. So if those two features are nice and you like it, stick with Perplexity. And if it's like serving you well already, it just depends on your use case, I guess.
Okay, perfect. The second one, in the breakout group, somebody who does kind of coding as part of their job was saying to use Cursor instead of Lovable. I've never heard of Cursor. Again, I just wanted to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so there's kind of 3 tiers of tools. I didn't go over it in today's lecture. But since you bring it up, I can pull up the slide I have for it. Give me a second. Okay. So there's kind of like 3 tiers of tools. One is like Lovable, right? And all these tools that are like Lovable. Then there's another tier which is like Cursor and all these other tools that are like Cursor. And then there's this other tier that's Claude Code, Codex, and Gemini CLI. And so the top level that I showed you is the best for beginners. When you're just starting out, it kind of handles everything in one, makes it super easy to launch, like takes you from a 0 to 100x if you're non-technical. For the other two layers, it's technically for developers, but like it's super easy to use for non-technical people too, increasingly. Out of these two layers, I actually don't recommend this second layer for most people. I either recommend you go to this first layer or you go to this third layer. The second layer is only for people who like actually want to read the code, but like you will never be reading the code. So, and then this one is like similar to Cursor, except it basically this third tier is like it uses a lot more compute, so it spends a lot more tokens. If you remember the concept of tokens, these ones spend a lot more tokens, but they're also better at like achieving the goal, but also take more manual setup and learning and a higher learning curve. So these are the trade-offs of each. If you're just starting out, this is the path that I think is the best, hence why we're teaching it, is where you start with Lovable or any of these in this tier, kind of build an app on there, you get a sense of it after you've done it for a couple of weeks. Then sometimes that's enough for people. They launch their app. You don't need to go learn these other ones. If you want more capability and want to go further, which I also do recommend you do, then I think after a few weeks of building on here, you can just grab your project you built here and put it onto here. And like at the end of these, like you can think of all of these as a different hammer, a different tool, right? You will have a project and you can use all of them whenever you want. And that's our goal, to set you up so that you can use any of them whenever you want. So if you wanted to use Cursor as well, you can. And then one additional thing, like the benefits of like Cursor over like Cloud Code. Cursor allows you to select your model. So when you're on Cursor and you're chatting with it, you can change your chat at any point to change it to Claude, to change it to ChatGPT, to change it to whatever it is. So that's another like benefit of having that. But yeah, that's kind of the breakdown.
Perfect. No, that's really helpful. Thank you.
Cool. Awesome.
Just have a very last question. Again, very generic. And probably not the most important thing, but when you come to think of the name, like the brand of whatever you're kind of creating, obviously I stuck it in Perplexity and a few different ones, but is there anything specific for generating names and also checking the name, that like the IP is available, basically?
Yeah, good question. Okay, my first recommendation is AI is terrible with names. I've definitely gone through this process myself too, where I feel like it gives a bunch of recommendations and I don't love the name recommendations. I haven't found any AI that is particularly good at it. If anybody in the chat knows anything, please do share with us. The other thing I would say, the other thing I would say is I wouldn't spend too much time on your name. Like focus on the important thing. You can always change your name later. Like time box yourself to an hour that you're gonna spend on it. Pick a name that you like the most by the end of it, and then move on, because that part's like just not as important. And in terms of trademarks, it depends on the country you're in, I guess. I don't know. In America, there's a trademarks USPTO, and this is where you file your trademark. Over here. Oh no, this is the ad. If you scroll down, trademarks. And you can search the trademark database on USPTO to see if other people have trademarked your name before and if it's available or not, if you want to trademark it, basically. So yeah, that's what I would check out. The filing would be done on there. It's a I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's a complicated system. I had a whole process. AI Squads was initially called AI Scouts. And the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts came after us, and we had this like long process, and we had to switch our names. So even if it doesn't show on here and you file for it, you might not get it. But yeah, that's kind of like the process you would go through for that.
Perfect. That was it. I'll let you answer the questions, but thank you for all your help, and really enjoyed it so far. So thank you.
Awesome. Glad. Yeah. Thanks, Rachel. See you. Hey, Adam.
Hi, hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Good. Right. Question. I'm in the middle process of creating hardware.
Okay.
I'm currently gathering all the paperwork for filing a patent.
Okay.
And I'm just worried about if I don't wanna reveal, very sensitive data on this program. So I'm gonna run just a demo app.
Okay.
Which I'm gonna use for my project. Is that be right?
Yeah, definitely. This is what I would say. Like, the point of this program is for it to help you in whatever endeavor you're on. So I never want the assignments to be busy work. So if you think like it's not even helpful for you to build a demo app, don't do it. Don't submit the assignments. That's fine. Like, just come to the recording lectures if it's helpful, learn from that, and don't do the assignments if you like. I will say, I think doing something hands-on is how you learn it, but it just like depends. If you don't need a software tool and you're just building hardware, but you just kind of want to learn about AI and have it in the back of your mind, like whatever is good for you, we're okay with. Whatever helps you the most.
I'm extensively using AI, to be honest, and I'm thinking to go to Vertex AI and Google Workshop.
Okay.
Is that be any good?
I mean, what are you using AI for exactly? Like, what is your need for it?
Mostly brainstorming.
Mostly brainstorming?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And extensive coding as well, because I'm not very good at coding.
Okay, got it.
But I will need it eventually in the future.
Okay, got it. I don't know if... Is it an in-person event, the Vertex AI thing?
Vertex AI is part of the Google workspace.
Yeah.
It's paid, high advanced, shielded AI, so nothing leaks publicly.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay, got it. Oh, so you're thinking of purchasing Vertex AI so that...
it's not subscription based, it's just like token based.
Okay, got it.
So, and the other thing is, I forget. So basically, I don't have to do the demo and stuff like that, because I don't want to lose the patentability, because it's a highly value project, and I don't want to just risk it too far.
If you just don't want to do it...
But I will build up the demo, and I want to show it, because I need real life feedback from the users, from the potential users, really. So I need to basically help to connect people for my project.
So you're going to build the demo, but you don't want to publicly share it. You want to share it with select people.
Well, I will create the demo, so I'm not going to lose patentability. I'm going to create it like that, just to like overall what I'm trying to achieve with it.
Sorry, I'm confused. Are you going to share the demo or not share it?
I will share it, yeah. But I don't know what's the project is going to be like in the further. How far I need to be pushed in this accelerated program.
Oh, okay.
That's one.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah, the demo is fine. You don't have to go super far. Like whatever you need to do, that's what you do. Just explain it to us on the assignments. Explain the reasoning, and we'll be happy with it.
All right. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Of course. All right, all. Thanks for the questions. Any quick questions in chat? I think that's all the hands I'll take for today. Gonna hop off now. Let me read chat. Any quick last minute questions in the chat before I hop off? AI Squad's merch? Yeah, if you guys want to get... I have some AI... Let me know what... Let me show you some of the merch. See what you guys like. Oh. We have some merch. I haven't made it public. I didn't know if anybody wanted, but this is one. This is our hoodie. It's like an embroidered hoodie. And then we also have... This is our cohort number 1 t-shirts. This is our core number 1 t-shirt. This is like the back of it, and this is the front. But yeah, if you guys want some merch, I'll definitely make it public. I want Spare's head on a t-shirt. That's crazy. Quick question on one kit. Yeah, Natasha. I do want to make sure we hop every video with one kit. If you raise your hand, I can pull you in. Or if you want to just ask it here, go ahead. I want it? Okay. Merch is good. Okay, if people want merch, okay. Oh wow, a lot of people. I did not expect that. That's awesome. Okay, definitely. Okay, I'll work on it then. We will get some merch out to you guys. Can you refer me to my squad number? Yeah, if you go to the AI Squad's portal, on the left-hand side, click community. Then at the top, click squad, and it'll show you your squad number if you're assigned. Let me see if Natasha raised her hand. Okay, there we go. Yep. Hoodie too warm, shirts. Yeah, we have the shirts. Tanks. Okay, yeah, we can do a couple different ones. One kit not working. Lewis, thanks for letting me know. Well, we're gonna work on it. What is in particular not working? It would be great if you let me know. Natasha, yes.
Oh, I think am I? Can you hear me?
Yes, you're in now.
Great. Just a very quick question. I've signed up for one kit, very excited, but I don't have a confirmation email, so I don't have a code. And I think there are a number just in the chat that are experiencing the same. I guess it's just a bit of a technical glitch.
Yeah.
What shall I do?
Yeah. I apologize. I think.
No worries. I think we all got a bit excited.
Yeah. I think I got a little bit excited too and launched it a little too early. So we're definitely gonna sort you out. Don't worry. We're not gonna like charge anybody.
That's fine.
Or not. Like,
well, if it's hopefully it's come through. But I see on the download page there is an email. Should we just email and just say signed up, just waiting code, and then you can hopefully you'll get that and you can email us back.
That would be great if you could do that.
Yeah, no, that'll be good. I'll do that. I think that hopefully that will sort it.
Yes, that's great. Thank you so much. Thanks for
no worries. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye.
All right.
Okay. Mine not working too. Okay, yeah. It seems like the confirmation codes aren't going out, so we'll fix that and reach out to all of you based on the emails you signed up with. You're on my big game. Happy Father's Day, everyone. Yeah, happy Father's Day, everybody. Tomorrow. Struggling to get a Supabase account? Let me know what your struggle is. You could come into office hours. Hopefully, we can help out with that. Do I need GitHub for Supabase? You don't need GitHub, but you should make a GitHub account too. We'll chat about that next week. Is it mandatory we use Lovable? No. Feel free to use whatever platform you want. I ended up with amazing team members. Your breakout rooms should have been your squad. So check out which squad you're in on the AI Squads portal, and you should be able to chat with them as well. I'm glad people are liking their groups. All right, cool. Can I have a link to your app for testing ideas? My app, yes. Let me see if it's published. This is not a good app at all, but if you just want an app to check it out, go for it. Okay, and then last question from Ozma. I have submitted my idea during the schedule, but no badge. We're going to be reviewing it this week, so don't worry about that. 2, I have too many ideas. 1 has potential to make money than others. Do I start with weaker ideas for experience? No, I would recommend start with your best idea. Ideas change. Ideas get outdated. Whatever your best idea is, give it your best shot. Go after it with that. Definitely don't start with a weaker idea. And just commit to one idea. I know you have a lot of great ideas probably, but just pick one and go for it. Your chance of success, if you put all your marbles into that one basket, will be a lot higher than if you put some marbles into each basket. We can't see when our office hours tomorrow. You'll check the AI Squads portal. It'll have it in your time zone. I'm not reviewing any apps. Please don't spam. I'm not no app reviews today. Maybe in a future session. I'm a newly created squad alone now. Okay, yeah. Try to message people on Help Bank maybe, and you can paste the link and have people join. I thought there were multiple levels of badges. There's multiple levels of badges for some of them that we've released. Some of them are unreleased. And yeah, you'll see the access to those soon. But those are completely optional. Okay, and it seems that the squad numbers were having some issues, so Simone, I'll work on that. Sorry, Ubaid, maybe a future time. Levi, okay, which email did you send it out to? I'll follow up on that for you. Thanks, Frank. Have a good one. Thanks, guys. All right. Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. Can you launch a one-on-one plan to talk with you? Lucas, I don't do any one-on-one chats. I do like consulting on the side for companies, but that's about all the like one-on-one things I do. If you have interest around that, yeah, maybe I can put something up for people, but yeah, I typically charge a lot for one-on-ones. But I'm happy to help with anything you need here for free. Thank you all. Thank you. And then yeah, I'll have office hours. When are office hours? You'll see it on the schedule on the AI Squads portal. Thank you. All right, all. Thanks, Larry. Thanks all, especially those of you joining at such weird times. Have a great one. I'll chat to you next time. Good night, or good morning, or whatever it is. Bye-bye. YouTube people. Bye bye.